Yeah, that's fine, but we can go into part 2 right now?
We can go into part 2.
What's the commercial? Panties?
No.
Mantees panties. They're panties, but for man...
We already listened to that. They had the mankini.
No, that's a bikini.
I always thought a good idea would be man lingerie.
They have it, like the elephant trunk.
No, not the elephant trunk. Like luxurious silk lingerie, but for gentlemen.
Oh, silk boxers.
Yeah, but with a matching camisole.
Well, yeah, you can do that.
A wide camisole for men's chests.
You're reinventing the wheel. This already exists. This product already exists.
All right. Well, tell me where to get it.
Probably Walmart.
Oh.
This fucking channel is fantastic. Look at that.
It is great. It is a visual symphony.
Oh, the Arts channel?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not on every cable system, but...
Do you think anyone at this motel has ever been watching the Arts channel for as long as we have?
I assume it was Morgan Murphy that cut me off in the last podcast when I was trying to explain my bare calves.
I've never tried to cut you off, by the way, Doug, except for just now.
You don't have to try. You do it naturally.
All right. Well, on occasion, I was trying to make what I can only call in the podcast industry a diving save. Where I saw things hitting a rut, maybe going foul.
This is Morgan and I and the Chailles in the van. And my phone rings, and I take it, and I start crying, and I go... Sorry, I just found out my grandmother died, and she goes, my grandmother is so talkative. You brought up grandmother, and then you...
I make it about me.
Everything is a conversation starter about Morgan Murphy.
Yeah, I do make things about me. I think it's the most annoying thing about me, and I'm aware of it. Continue.
Unless it's a name drop.
Yeah.
Where
what do I name drop?
Yeah. Hang on. I have to answer this text message I just got from Andy McDowell. Let me talk about Andy McDowell.
I was overemphasizing it as a point of comedy. I wasn't. I was trying to make fun of the situation.
But it segued into a 45-minute conversation by yourself about Andy McDowell and her accent and her dog, and here's some pictures of Andy McDowell. And then Tracy slipped a note up to me. She tapped me with a note that said,
sits behind you in the car.
Please kill me.
Yeah.
Please kill me now. She's showing me pictures of Andy McDowell's dog.
Oh.
So
that's more than a name drop, Murph.
Okay, on the last podcast, we got up to the
I'm not
shoot.
done talking about my calves.
Oh, because I'm looking at the notes here that we went over on the 20th.
I know, but I had to... This is from the last podcast.
Oh, this is the cliffhanger calves podcast.
Everyone wants to know why. See, Bingo noticed I have the 1970s socks baldness from wearing socks all the time and sleeping in socks. But Bingo noticed that it's getting higher. She goes, "What? No, it used to be bald down here. Now it's bald halfway up your whole fucking tibia." She didn't say tibia.
No, I was going to say.
Not after a traumatic brain injury and retardation. And then I just figured it out. It's the fucking dumb suits that I wear. I wear matching socks that are fucking almost knee-high socks all the time and sleep in them. So, yeah, I'm getting balder and balder. So if you remember from the last podcast, Morgan Murphy's joke about wearing a sock around her vagina so she doesn't have to shave, yeah, wear fucking cunt-high socks. Why don't you wear pantyhose? Let's talk to you, Murph.
What?
Oh, Murphy's texting. As soon as it's not about her anymore.
No, as soon as I'm reminded that people are passing notes in a vehicle about things.
No, that was a joke, you fucking idiot.
Oh.
Jesus, you sensitive cunt.
Yeah, I'm sensitive. That's who
You don't
I
think
am.
Tracy would do that?
Be
do you?
sensitive about how I'm sensitive.
You know what? We're going to have to send Murphy training tapes of me and Lynn Shawcroft, the epic battles we get in. Fuck you, I'm just going to get a rental car and you're not going to see me. I'll just show up. Fuck you.
I hope that's your last breath. I might be right.
Ratso Rizzo. Stop texting. You can't tweet and
I
text
have
and Facebook.
work emails to keep up with, Douglas.
All right, well, get Tracy in here.
All right. Get the
No one
fucking
passed.
lady
Did you
who
really
runs the
think
front
she
desk.
passed me a note? I guess that's not out of the realm of possibilities.
You're a good actor.
She is new to this. The fucking shit town tours of Doug Stanhope and friends. You caught it. I heard that cough. All right, let's get back to.
We haven't even discussed the fact that I had nothing for days.
What do you mean nothing? Was that
Nothing. None of my things.
No, absolutely. You should talk about that.
Oh.
Wait, one more time.
Lost her back.
Oh, yeah, that's Nyack. I have to get through New York. We already, in the last podcast, previously seen on the Doug Stanhope podcast, he was in L.A. doing press for his CISO special. I should have done a GoFundMe for CISO. I'm guessing. Keep that in.
And you did the photo shoot.
Yeah, did the photo shoot. I don't remember what else I did. But I do know, then I had to fly to New York. Again, get in early. Have a day to catch up. And then I did the wrap-up show on Stern. If you heard that. And you probably didn't. But if you did, I mentioned, I heard I got bumped from the regular show for Ashton Kutcher. On the wrap-up show, I said, I heard I got bumped. I won't say a name.
Yeah.
And I understand completely why I would get bumped for
Someone who matters.
Yeah, exactly. Ashton Kutcher doesn't.
He's a delight.
Turns out I wasn't bumped for anyone. That was, Chinese telephone. One publicist tells another publicist, tells someone from CISO who tells Hennigan. I heard, I get in on the wrap-up show, and what's the Seth Rogen was on. I fucking love Seth Rogen. I don't mind getting bumped for Seth Rogen.
Like pumping up the whole movie or something. There was some
whatever he
was
was
out doing a junket thing.
He was
just doing
he was on the actual show.
Yeah.
I understand getting bumped for Ashton Kutcher. He's famous. I just hate it. I don't want to be famous or need to be famous. I just wish that he wasn't more unfamous than me, Ashton Kutcher, but that was not the case. So if you heard that where I said I'm not going to name the name, just like in my book where they wouldn't let me name the Prince of Monaco. Well, if you read the book and you go, oh, I wonder who he's talking about, the Prince of Monaco and Ashton Kutcher on the wrap-up show. So I did that, had a fun time.
I heard the interview when you did it live. I thought it was great.
I also thought it was great, and I never even listened to it.
Wow. Are you going to be... did you suck on a sour pickle? Because now you look all butthurt because I made a joke about Tracy passing me a note that never happened.
No, I didn't listen to it, and I'm sure it was great. I was being very...
Oh, the note was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
We'll have a copy of the note. No.
It'll be in the show notes.
Anyway, so we did that, but we did... I I did.
By the way, you're lying on your bed like a teenage girl who's writing in her diary.
He should have like a bearskin
Like
under
a
him.
teenage girl from the 1960s who's writing in her diary about how Barry gave her a look in economics.
Please hold. Chaille, would you dump that fire hazard of an ashtray? We're in a smoking room in Buffalo.
If
How
it's
about
all
that?
out, there's a trash bag, the
Yep.
blue bag tied to the. Okay, go ahead.
Hotel Motel Mafia, but they still provide a smoking room for the Motor Lodge traveler that might visit Niagara Falls, but we won't. All right, so yeah, New York.
Nyack, my bag didn't
Oh,
come.
hang on. I did two things, lady.
Okay.
In New York, I had an interview with Playboy.com. You know, the up-and-coming new face on the map of... Yeah, Playboy.com, followed by a live in-house interview with the people at AOL.com.
Build.
AOL? They're have you heard of the internet?
Yeah.
I just got on it, but AOL. Ring. You've got, yeah, so I get to do AOL and Playboy.com.
Two juggernauts in, in the media.
And then I did a meet and greet at Radio Shack. Like, the jokes were too easy to do, and I had to go into. I remembered Fun with Pedophiles. All that stuff was done on AOL Instant Messenger. You were what, 5 when that happened?
No, I was a teenager because everything you just mentioned, I was like, is this 1996?
About, yeah.
It was about 98. I think I did all that baiting stuff.
94, 95 is...
So instead of trashing AOL on AOL Live or whatever it was
AOL
on.
Build was what it was.
Build.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to say a positive thing. If it weren't for AOL Instant Messenger, I would not have Fun with Pedophiles, which is probably the only thing I'd ever look back on and still laugh. It was
if it wasn't for AOL Instant Messenger, I wouldn't have seen a dick till I was 20.
Me either.
And that is a true story.
Do you think it
Thank
was
you,
the real
AOL.
dick?
I don't know. Could
That's
be
what
Photoshop.
Mr. AOL said. If we can just change the course for one young lady.
By the way, my
experience with
this
dick.
is a complete tangent, but my basketball team in Los Angeles, the Spice Squirrels, our jerseys, the back of our jerseys are not our names, not our last names. They are our original AOL IM screen names. So the instant messenger name you first had on AOL is what's on the back of our jerseys, and that's what we play with.
Yeah, I still use mine.
Your AOL account?
No, I still use that screen name for
No, we have a whole...
eBay. I still use that.
Oh, really? Mine was Tofuti Booty.
Oh, wow. That's a mouthful.
But that's what I play with, because we all do.
Yeah. That fit on the back of the jersey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We got big... I mean, on my jersey, it does.
I think mine was Egg Spike. I had that one for a long time.
AOL Instant Messenger was how everybody in my college dorm my freshman year would decide to go to dinner. We'd be like, we would IM each other and go, do you want to go to the, the cafeteria now? And we would go. But we all communicated on IM. Skip that. Delete that.
No. I was trying to think of because the baiting again, baiting pedophiles. Those were not the same. Like I had my own at Hotmail that I used for everything.
Yeah.
Someone goes, well, this is how you use email, and you just have to come up with it. And I just came up with this flippant name, but on baiting, it was like Tool My Sweet Ass. And then there was whatever the cripple girl was. There was some kind of hidden... My persona was a crippled girl. Anyway,
I'm sitting on that cover of the baiting book. I got permission from you to redo the cover.
Oh, that's
it's not out yet. No, I just haven't had fucking time, and that I want to put that back out without pedophile.
Let me talk to my cohort here. Chaille always doesn't have enough time to do things. Yet, as we spoke in the last podcast, he takes the time to put green gaffer tape on your... Where you go, that is so nice, but how much of this... Like, if you were the IRS of time, and you did an audit of Chaille...
I'd be in jail.
Yeah, you'd be
I
in jail.
thought about this the other day because Morgan Murphy, Brett Erickson, and I did a tour when you were doing your side project, your moonlighting gig, your own Hollywood vampires, and I kept saying, "Oh, this is not this. Wait till when Chaille's on the road with us, this will go smoothly." But then I wondered, how much of this shit is unnecessary? Because Chaille's the king of unnecessary shit. Where you go, oh, maybe I would have my book back out there. And
it's still out there.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not out there.
It's not for sale, I
It
thought.
is for sale.
It's like if Russell Crowe had a nice trip to like Europe without his personal assistant. It was like, do I need my personal assistant? Do I need somebody to go get me everything? Oh, you do. You do.
But you
As
do.
a person who travels with you, you do. You
But
do that.
but if your personal assistant was up, like, shaving your soap in case you left a hair on it, but he didn't have the car ready, I'm just saying.
But you're using an example that is not realistic.
Oh, I like this. This is all against Chaille now.
The green tape helps, and it helps me.
I know, but
Because I would just have to pick that.
also
fucking thing
having
up.
the book out where in a
The book is
problem
out.
with the,
It's not that it's not
I know,
out.
but people won't buy it because when I
You're
put
right.
it out, I go, I didn't think, oh, I shouldn't have pedophile in the title because no one wants to type that into a search engine, much less put it on their credit card. Fun with pedophiles is not the best title in an internet age where pedophilia is...
Even trying to stop
Right.
pedophilia.
So we're just going to make it the subtitle, The Best of Baiting.
Yes.
If Chris Hansen were funny, that's what we should call it. If Chris Hansen was in the least bit funny and not
Right.
Self-aggrandizing?
Yes, that works.
It's Punked meets To Catch a Predator.
yeah.
Punk. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can we use that?
Yeah, use it.
All right.
It's all you.
She knows Hollywood speak.
Yeah.
She can do the UN translation for anything in Hollywood speak.
Give me a topic. I'll translate it to Hollywood.
I'm not whippy enough to do that.
No.
And I told you earlier, I want to do a podcast because we have to, but I don't want to have to take Adderall to do it well. Anyway, back to New York City. We did AOL. They were just like live Google. Google does, I don't know, it's a live video, but Google was only in-house. Like, you'd go to Google home office, and they ain't no Twitter, but it's still like that.
You went into a studio like TRL Live when Carson Daly used to have
You go
like a
to
live
where they
studio
work.
audience.
Twitter, Brian and I went to Twitter's home office in San Francisco, and they had a DJ playing. You walk into... If you fucking Norton me one more time by sitting there and not making eye contact and looking at your fucking phone...
First of all, I got an alert because your goddamn manager replied to something on Twitter, so I'm so sorry
What?
that he decided to engage.
Not recently.
Yeah, just now.
I just now replied to something.
No, Hennigan.
Hennigan.
Oh, you meant
the other manager.
Shit.
I've been calling him my agent
Yeah.
now, just to.
So okay, so you're at Silicon Valley. You're at Twitter. I know what you're talking about because I worked at
They have
Real.
basically
they have
a
a common
fucking golf course on a fucking upstairs
They have
outdoor
common areas
patio. And
where everyone can hang out, or there's a chef.
you walk
making
into a
crepes.
Caesar's Palace like buffet with a DJ playing. That's where they have lunch when you work at Twitter. Every other office is a game room with foosball and asteroids and no one's working.
But are they?
But are they? They're making money. I don't know if they're working or what they're working at. It's the coolest place. Google, we walk in thinking it's going to be the same thing, but it's a New York style. It's kind of, and we made a joke. Hennigan says, well, it's no Twitter. He goes, oh, it's way better than Twitter. And we both had to bite our tongues because it ain't.
Who your liaison, like walking you around?
It's a buffet. It's a Golden Corral compared to a fucking Caesar.
It's East Coast, West Coast.
Anyway, we do some live fucking
That's AOL, not
Q&A
Google.
bullshit.
It's AOL, not Google.
No, that was Google.
That was Google?
Google was saying, oh, we're better than Twitter. Nah. Yeah, you have more money, but you ain't paying it back to the fucking kids.
You ain't
that work
wasting
there.
it like Twitter is.
I prefer the Prodigy Bean Trough. That's my favorite snack of the .com industry.
Or the Earthlink soda bar.
I like the Hotmail smoothie.
It's just ice.
I don't know what else what else.
My bag.
No, he's getting your bag is that's the
you weren't even
the end
in the
spot.
fucking city.
Oh,
I was in the Big
Jesus.
Apple, man.
You did.
I'm trying to tell people what the big city is like. Someone in fucking Tromsø, Norway is listening, and they want to know what the big city is like. It's like,
Well, you explore so much. I'm sure you could give them an insight into all the
Enlighten us.
things a tourist could possibly do.
You did a kind
Given that you go experience all of those things. What's your favorite tourist activity in New York City, Doug?
Anywhere.
bar.
Anywhere.
I went to the Old Town Bar, which had some history to it, and it was across from my hotel, which they told me it was Midtown, but it was like 19th Street. No, that's not Midtown.
No, you told me you were in Midtown,
That's-
and then
Well, it's
later
'cause
you were like,
Hennigan
I'm
told
by
me I was in
Union Square,
Midtown.
and I
You
was like,
think
that's not Midtown at all.
It was where? Union
No,
Square, yeah.
you said you were by Union Square,
Yeah.
which isn't Midtown in any
I know, I
sense
told
of
a
the
lot
word.
of people I was in
Yeah.
Midtown. Or two. And
That's
thank
why no
God.
one contacted you, because nobody else was in Midtown.
I don't contact anyone. I contacted people saying, "Hey, I'm near Midtown, but I have to do a thing, so I won't be able to hook up." I don't. wanna
I'm near Midtown is the biggest cock block of plans that you could possibly throw out in New York. Nobody wants to hang out with you.
What does that mean? I'm near
Good.
Midtown.
It's just no one lives there. So it's like if you say I'm in Midtown, you should just always say that, even if you're not, because people do live near Union Square, but nobody lives in Midtown. So
and
when
no
you
one
say,
lives near fucking Los Feliz or whatever the fuck you're from.
first of all, everybody I know does, but go ahead. Go ahead.
That's a neighborhood, Doug.
Point
Yeah.
being,
Los Feliz,
LA
the
and
podcast.
New York, I know a million people, and they try to make plans if they know you're there, and I try to shadow that. This is another thing I have to get to with New England. Next. When you're in New York or Los Angeles, you have a million friends that you've known from a quarter century on the fucking road, and they want to make plans, but they live. Okay, what if we meet late? How about? And then you have to schedule an Uber and judge traffic. There's so much trajectory, and no, just if you're at the bar, I see you at the bar. Kerry Mitchell's bar, I'll be near it at some point if I see you or I don't. I can't make. All right, it's 9 a.m. What about at 4:30? At 4:30, I might be fucked. So, no. In Bisbee, you can go, This is where I live.
Yeah.
I'm in town and I'm drinking. You can be here in 5 minutes. I can schedule that.
Mm-hmm.
I can schedule 5 minutes out. I don't know where I'm going to be at the end
It sounds
of the
like
fucking
Midtown
day.
is a good answer for Doug.
Yeah, it's a great
Without
answer
him
because
not
nobody
knowing-
wants to be in Midtown unless they're working there, and if they're working there, they don't want to be there after they work. So
Yeah.
you're good.
So that was without him knowing
Yeah.
what a good answer that is.
No. I
Yeah.
recognized that when he told me he was in Midtown, and then eventually I found out where he was, and he wasn't in Midtown. He was actually very close.
Well, you always
to
give
other
me shit
things.
about Los Feliz.
What
Why
shit
don't
do I
you come
give
to
you?
Los Feliz? Well, because it's fucking L.A. and I hate traffic. That's why I left that place. I'd rather be obscure than have to ever sit in traffic.
All right. I thought you'd like it.
It's a nice area.
Just try to be nice.
But the other problem is maybe something else happened where I get all fucked up and now I'm at Barney's Beanery and I don't have pants on and I don't know why. And I don't want to let you down. So I just try to tell people, when I told you I was in L.A., don't tell anyone I'm in fucking
I
L.A.
told nobody.
'Cause
You went
there's
back
gonna
to
be-
L.A. We were in New York, in Midtown.
I know, but I'm saying both of them, New York and L.A., are
Yeah.
places, unless you're
Sorry.
in a block radius,
Yep.
no. Come to Bisbee. All right, wait a minute. Hold that thought. We'll be right back. Hey, the three of us, Ggreg, Chaille, Chad, Shank, and myself, are all wearing similar but equal movement watches. I don't know if you wear a watch anymore or you just stare at your fucking phone, you fraudulent asshole. Well, let me see. Then, because you don't even check the time. You check your fucking Twitter. You forget that you even needed to know the time. If you wear a watch like a real man, like me, I like simple. I wore the same watch for at least the last 20 years. Black wristband. White face. Nothing special. I enjoy that. Guess who makes an upgraded model of simple movement?
Hey, Movement Watches was founded on the belief that style should break. Movement Watches was founded on the belief, Doug, that style shouldn't break the bank.
It doesn't. What are they, like $99?
They start at around $95, yeah. But I mean, I don't even know how much a watch costs because I haven't had a watch forever. What you just said, like you just pick up your phone, but
Staring at your phone.
now I don't have to go dig for my phone. It's right there, and there's so many different styles that I got one. I like dive watches, and I got one in a style I never would have gotten, which is a silicone band, which is very comfortable to me.
Chad Shank.
I got the, it's like it's solid
All black.
of course. Actually, though, I didn't even pick this. Jenny picked it. It's a Voyager. I think it has multiple times and stuff on it.
Yeah.
I think she got it because it looks sexy. She wanted me to look. I usually don't look very sexy, so she wanted me to look more sexy.
Mine has the date on it. It should have the month and year with my failing memory.
It is a bigger face than your other watch that you've had for over 20 years, which is a great upgrade for your failing
the
eyesight.
only reason I've worn a watch is because on stage I get drunk and I go, oh shit, they dropped tabs 48 minutes ago. I'm like 2 hours into this show. I should leave. And as I'm aging, yeah, a bigger face works for me.
Hey, Movement watches start at just $95. And at a department store, I don't even know what it costs. They say here $400 to $500, but even if it's like $300, you're saving money by going to Movement. That's mvmt.com/Stanhope for a special deal.
If you have to wear a watch and you want to look like you're cool with your watch, you're a douchebag. But you can have an expensive watch that's not expensive, and yet, you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Doug, over 1 million watches have been sold in over 160 countries with Movement.
Hey, Chad, what time is it?
Now is the time to step up your watch game.
Can I get you something? It's a fucking... come on, that's a classic comedy, staple cliche.
Slowly I turn, step by step.
Chad, When someone comes in late to a comedy show, the hackneyed response from a comic is, "Hey, can I get you something? Like a watch?" And then you say, as a new comic, you say what?
Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/Stanhope.
Stanhope, that's me.
Go to mvmt.com/Stanhope.
Join the movement. Come on, let's do that one more time. Shank.
Go to mvmt.com/Stanhope.
No, we're only doing join the movement.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. How about we just
need
put
a
this
director.
out? Put this out. This is fucking great. This is way better than a fucking commercial we have to read as all the fuck ups.
Go to mvmt.com/Stanhope.
Join the movement. So get your movement watch. In the old days, they used to tell the time by the stars, but with Chad, Shank, Ggreg, Chaille, and I, now you can tell the time with the stars. All right, we're back. All right, what were we talking about?
So you also did a couple other podcasts while you were in town.
I did
In New York.
Jay Okerson's other podcast, not Legion of Skanks, but his other one that he wasn't there for. He was preparing for Legions of Skank Fest, which, as much as I hated missing it, I had to miss it. Because last year when we did that book tour and we did Legions of Skanks,
Did you do something on stage for that?
the last 2 years have been the biggest, like, I should go to rehab kind of blackout functions where it's like just crazy. Legions of Skanks was one of them. I don't know if that was the same tour where I had to do Stern one morning, shit-faced. I started drinking on Stern.
Oh, that was
at
with the whiskey.
7 a.m.
You
or
walked
8
in with a
a.m.
bottle. Yeah.
And then Ron Bennington, where that was the first time I had like a panic attack where I just shaking, I hard to move my mouth, kind of like scary. Like, I'm having a stroke. Am I having a stroke? Was with a live audience, small live audience. Then
That was the book tour. That was.
This was
Yeah.
one day. Then I did David Feldman's podcast in my room. Then had to go out and do Ants, Opie and Anthony, Ant, Cumia. By then I'm shit-faced. Then I go to Artie Lang's at night at his house.
Place, yeah.
In Jersey, beautiful
Yeah.
view.
Beautiful view.
If you can see.
If you're looking, if you're
With
looking
one
in
eye
the right
closed.
direction.
With one eye closed, one hand over an eye going, oh, fuck. Where you go, I'm going to die. I'm really going to die in one day.
Beautiful view if you're looking out the window.
I was looking at his...
I fucking love Artie, by the way. And by the way, can I just say this? I've never been more surprised by somebody being really nice to me. Like, when you meet people, you're like, I don't know. And he's the nicest fucking dude in the world.
oh,
Is he not?
Yeah, no, I can't imagine him not being a nice guy. There is a East Coast comedy thing that I don't get. They're almost conservatives.
Well, they're all relatively right wing, like politically speaking.
But even Norton, who is so not right wing as a person, seems a little right wing. Like, his lifestyle
Right.
is so completely left wing, but he
Yeah.
still has right wing ideals. Nick DiPaolo. I don't know about calling. I'll stop this podcast if you fucking keep doing that.
I'm looking at the Major League Baseball schedule. Doug.
This is what fucking Norton would do on Opie and
I'm
Anthony.
looking at the
You're
Major
trying to have
League
a
Baseball
conversation.
schedule.
I'm sorry. Is that part of the fucking podcast?
Yeah.
You are the fucking front row. You're the cunt I threw out of Scranton that was sitting there
I'm
napping
sorry if
in the
I
front
think
row.
that a Dodger game would be a little more interesting than whatever
Then beat it.
All right.
Then beat it.
I'll go to the La Quinta.
Sitting there talking to me, checking baseball scores when we're trying to have a fucking conversation. Norton would do that. To Norton's credit, on Opie and Anthony, Norton would just be on his phone the whole time, yet still have the best jokes of the entire podcast. He just
I
look
feel
up
like
and
I'm
go,
paying
"Bah, bah, 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 bah."
attention. I
So
feel
this
like
is a
I'm paying
I
I know,
attention.
but
I think
you're
this is a
not
compliment.
helping me pay attention when you're staring at a thing and I'm having a conversation
Well,
with
I'm
you.
sorry.
and you're
Sometimes
going,
I try
blah,
to show
blah,
you
blah,
a fun comedy sketch, and you're looking at your phone, and you don't hear that either.
But that's not the show. This is a show.
Oh.
When you try to show me a fucking funny comedy sketch and it's fucking 9:30 in the morning and I have half an eye mask on and half off, I'm not in the mood for fucking Blind Eye with Chris Morris.
It's called Brass Eye.
Whatever.
One of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
I thought you guys would like a modern day
I'll talk to
baseball
Ggreg.
game.
Chaille's back.
Yeah,
He
please
was taking
do.
a
Sorry, I was
dump.
taking a leak. So
All right, unplug her, Mike. She wants to listen to the fucking Dodgers game.
No, I don't. I want to see it on the TV.
All right.
is that what this is? Is this connected? Oh, it's not connected.
It will be.
All right. Just need to see what this is. Doug keeps talking about how you have
What
all
else?
the equipment
It's
here.
just an HDMI cable
What?
But you have
attached
the-
to the.
Now you're
lightning.
fucking got Chaille involved in tech issues. Fuck this podcast.
Okay.
Morgan Murphy will never be on the road again.
What was the chive
Never.
thing? What was the chive thing you did?
Chive thing, I don't know. I
Don't.
retweeted
What?
it. Look
Okay.
it up. Yeah, we
So,
were really hammered by then.
So then Tracy and
It
I,
was fun though.
we show up in Nyack and we're there a day early.
Oh, this is
And,
where
you and
Murphy's
Morgan-
bag comes in.
You and Morgan were at the bar, but I had heard about something with her luggage, but we'll get to that.
All right,
But you guys,
the hotel is called The Time.
the time Nyack.
The Time Nyack. It's if you've ever been to a loft, which we love.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
IKEA hotels. And there's-
IKEA boutique.
It's
Yeah.
called The Time because the part of it
By the
called
time
Not That Great
beg-
of a fell off the building. So now it's just called The Time.
Yeah, it's a IKEA. We stayed in another one that was like that.
You're not talking about the Portland.
No, it
That
was
one's
in the
nice.
last couple of days. We stayed in one that was kind of boutique-y. Anyway, The Time Nyack.
Where's the remote for this TV, by the way?
Get
I
a
want
room.
the Dodger
Get a
game in the
room. Get your
background.
own
I want the
fucking
Dodger game
room.
in the background.
No, you can't get
All
the
right,
Dodger
fine.
game
I won't
in the
have it in the
background.
background. I'll sit
It's
in my
a
bed.
baseball game. It
All
will
right,
last
tell me what you
for
want.
far longer
All right.
than you're going to drag this
I'll
fucking
sit back in my
podcast.
bed and you disagree with people at me, and I'll listen.
So we had the Nyack, and then we had the Radisson in Harrisburg.
Anyway, we're
The
Murphy
was it
shows up.
The Radisson.
I get
is
out of
Scranton.
New York. I get to Nyack, which is like a suburb of some
Right.
kind. They get a good room. The Levity Live is the same as a Funny Bone or an Improv now. They're all in these
mall.
adult destination malls. They know how comedy works. It goes for this long. We drop tabs at this time. But you know, they're going to take care of you. You get a green room, they bring you food.
Right.
Audience is good. But Murphy shows up. You came from where?
Los Angeles.
And what airline? Oh, you know
JetBlue.
what?
By the way,
JetBlue,
which I love.
We're not going to shit on
JetBlue.
them. I
Great
love
JetBlue.
JetBlue.
Fantastic. Show up. Land at. I took a red eye, so it was in the middle of the night. Land in the morning, and wait
Baggage people are drunk as you.
wait for the bags to go around and around and around. I woke up with 1 minute left in my flight. I took a sleep and woke up with 1 minute in my flight. Land, get to the carousel, watch all the bags go around and around and around and around to the point where there's no more
There's a
bags.
problem.
It's a problem. Go to the JetBlue
Hope against
baggage
hope.
meeting.
One more round.
Me and Ronnie from Jersey Shore in their yelling about our bags. He was quite upset. And
you
no
were
bag.
both upset, but you saw what a dick he was being and took the better path.
He was being more of a dick than me. I have to say this, could have been more of a dick. Like, I actually respected his calm, but he was like me, which was like, I just need my bag. And I just needed my bag because it had all of my clothes.
No, he was being more of a dick because they were going to put him on another flight, and I won't sit in the middle seat.
He
which
wouldn't sit middle.
I would
He
have
wouldn't
done the
sit middle
same
coach.
thing.
But,
Not if I bought a first class ticket.
They said at some point, JetBlue people said, because I showed them my ticket, which had this, they put the sticker on the back of your ticket with your bag info on it. My bag info said Jack McCrory, Boston. I'm Morgan Murphy, JFK. So I was like, well, I assume they sent it to Boston. And the lady told me at some point after waiting 2 hours at JFK because she wanted to confirm where the location of my bag when I was there, that it was at Boston. And then I went to the hotel to meet you guys and said, my bag's in Boston. I don't have it. I'm staying here. And et cetera, et cetera. Cut to 3 days later, still no bag. Have to go to the fucking store in the mall that sells fat clothes and get some fat clothes. Not fat clothes. Like, I don't even know what to say about
Bulky.
It's not like
Bulky.
no.
Big and tall for women.
10 and up.
Yeah.
And I'm 6 feet tall. I'm certainly above a size 10, and I needed some goddamn jeans, so I had to go to the Torrid. I love Torrid. It's fantastic. They also, by the way, I got to say this. Shout out to Torrid. When you go in, if you're a size 12, a size 14, you're not anymore. You're a size 0, a size 1. They start at 10. So 10 is a 0.
So they lie to you.
They lie to you.
They lie to you.
They lie to you in the way that you love, like every fucking
What size
marriage
speculum
that has
before
any
a guy can
longevity
eat your
whatsoever.
ass?
It was
0.
It was fantastic. I got a couple of 1s. I am a size 1 at Torrid. I got some 1 pants, some 1 panties, some necklaces, some shit to wear for the show. And then 3 days later, JetBlue found my luggage, sent it to me, returned.
3 days. Hang
3
on.
days.
We're at the hotel. The time we were there for 2 days. Then we realized our favorite hotel in Nyack, because that's the one that we were at when we found out not only had Whiskey Girl died, but Nowhere Man had killed himself. That's where we were sitting having breakfast with the in the home of the New Jersey cheesecake fucking.
No, it was there was a slew. Is a slew the right word? A slew of advertisements on the wall, sort of toting their cheesecakes, which apparently was like the most famous cheesecake of the area.
What was the name of the hotel?
It was Westgate Inn.
Westgate Inn.
Fantastic.
Great.
Everything we want in a motor lodge. Outdoor, the rooms, you can back your van up to the room.
It's 2-level, but there's plenty of them, so you can.
Yeah, but you get first
parking
floor,
lot, yeah.
and the room opens up like a motel, and you back your shit up, and you can unload everything right into the room. No fucking cart, no valet, no.
I like any place where the cheesecake is more famous than the hotel brand.
Well, that was the thing. In this little tiny diner attached to the hotel, some woman is known for winning the best cheesecake in New Jersey.
New Jersey Fair, State Fair.
I know, but Nyack
Well, you can
is
enter
New
it,
York.
but you can enter. It's right. No, they're right there.
I never
on the
put
edge.
that together till right now.
Nyack
it was
is
the New
right-
Jersey State Fair.
They're right on the edge.
Shut
of New
that
Jersey.
fucking TV off.
No, because you
I don't
said
want her on the fucking podcast.
you said fine.
I don't want her on.
Come on.
No.
I don't want to
What
be
was her,
on.
what was her name? Who had the cheesecake?
Tracy or something?
No, that's
I don't know.
Tracy's with us.
No, but I mean it was something like that.
Let me just speed through this
Okay, go
boring
ahead.
fucking story. But it's amusing to us, the listener, probably not so much. But this little diner in the Westgate Motor Lodge or whatever it is, the woman won like, what was it, 6 years in a
Four,
row?
4 or 5 years in a row.
Their
2011,
cheesecake
2012.
was Rihanna famous. Like so, it was famous in the area
them.
for being the greatest cheese. To them, till we tried it, and then to us,
Oh, it's fucking delicious.
it was amazing.
What? It tasted like cheesecake to me.
It was fantastic cheesecake.
I've never had a bad one. Point
6
being,
pounds. That cheesecake
Point
weighs
being,
6
the
pounds.
entire menu, like the first 2 pages, were a Wikipedia page of the woman who won the best New Jersey cheesecake thing, and the entire walls of the diner were filled with these like grainy, blown up fucking flip phone cell phone camera pictures of her with someone with their cheesecakes. And at the front desk of the motel, there was pictures of her framed.
Yeah, with like certain pseudo celebrities.
Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order.
Yeah. Or like the only
John Benet Ramsey.
Right.
If she hadn't been murdered, and you go, oh, my daughter, she won the beauty pageant, and every fucking thing is John Benet Ramsey, but you don't know who John Benet Ramsey is. But you do after you stay at the Westgate.
Oh, there's some yelling going on outside.
Yeah, it was good cheesecake because they have a lounge there. They have the diner, and it's open till about 10 o'clock at night. And then a great
Point being, we had to stay there for 3 fucking days because JetBlue couldn't find Murphy's bag. All the king's horses and all the king's men at JetBlue, and you were rightfully just breaking apart. Like, I don't know what else I can do. They were just so fucked. Well, it's in Boston, and they found it, but it was never in Boston.
I have to say the most embarrassing part of it was explaining to them how much things in my luggage cost, because I was embarrassed to say I spent that much on anything, but I had to be honest with them, and I was like, look, I didn't know how far back
I
to
have
go.
$400 burner socks.
No, but I wasn't.
You don't know
I
how
didn't-
big my feet are.
I didn't know
They're
how
man
far
size.
back to go in the story. Where I didn't know if I should say, "Hey, look, I have a $500 sweater in there," or if I just say, "Hey, look, I gained some weight this year. I needed some clothes to fit comfortably. I went to Saks. I bought some things that made me feel good about myself, and that's what's in the luggage." I didn't know how much of the story to tell them. And I had to say, look, this is how much my shit cost. And I wanted to explain to them that it's for very logical reasons, but I didn't over explain. I just told them.
If you've ever been in a position where they lost your luggage, it was to a point where it's on its way, it'll be there before midnight.
And it
was
wasn't,
the first day,
right.
and then the next morning you start from scratch. No, yeah, we found it. It's a no.
Can I give a specific shout out though?
Let me finish. In that, by the time on day 3 your bag arrived, we erupted into applause, like when Elizabeth Smart was finally found alive after a year of being John Bonet. But no, she's alive. And the bag is here. We're taking pictures of the bag in the parking lot.
It honestly, and it arrived in one car with one guy, like a ransom payment. It was very.
We couldn't leave
totally.
Nyack
No, it
to
was-
get to the next gig. We fortunately had a night off, but we had to stay there waiting for the fucking bag.
But JetBlue and their customer service people were kind enough to refund the entire price of my ticket, to refund the entire price of my fat clothes that I bought at the mall. They were very nice to me. It makes me want to fly them again, even though I didn't want to when they lost my shit.
Yeah, Delta hasn't done that for me when they fucked me over. They gave me 20,000 frequent flyer miles, which,
There's a dollar value on that. I don't know what it is.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it buys a fucking a noodle dish at the airport when you can align your mileage with the menu.
if you want to cash in your frequent flyer miles, you could get a round trip for 25,000 miles. if you keep searching, that destination, that's 5,000 miles.
Well, they do that thing where they go for every $1 you spend, you get a mile, right? Like that kind of shit. I was at the airport coming here, and I went to a Asian restaurant and ordered some noodles, and it was like, would you like to pay with cash, or you can use 2,500 points? And I was like, I didn't spend $2,500 to eat this shrimp pad thai. Like, that's what it bought me.
Yeah.
That's what it bought me. All of my mistake purchases bought me a shrimp pad thai at the fucking airport.
If I had, you have an assistant that does your thing. If I had an assistant.
Mm-hmm. You do. You have 9. Go ahead.
No, here's the one thing I would want an assistant for is to coordinate. Hennigan can do it on some level. He doesn't do it for me.
He does it expertly for himself.
The points guy on Twitter. The points guy. The guys who know how to manipulate all the credit cards, all the hotel.
I'm good at that.
We don't do the hotel thing just because I have preference on hotel, meaning shitty. Like right now, we're at the Hospitality Inn Buffalo Airport because they have a smoking room.
Right.
You're not going to get miles.
And by the way, you transferred from a hotel about 30 feet away that was technically nicer. A lot of people would say nicer.
Name brand.
But
Every
for
review
you,
says
shitty
nicer.
name.
Worse.
La Quinta.
Yeah. You transferred from a La Quinta to a
Patel Motel Mafia.
to a hotel that
To a no quinta.
Were it were a food, it would be a white bag with the word motel in blue on it. And you were thrilled about it.
Yeah,
Well-
because it has the doors that open out, because this is a night off, and that's when you have to unload the entire van, repack, go, what suit am I wearing next fucking chunk of tour? You gotta find your shit. Like, when you do road trips like this, people don't understand. At some point, you just freak out and go, where's all my shit? Like, we had a late checkout and I was still not awake, so I tucked dirty socks into that fold of the outside of one roller bag, and I'm trying to... At some point you go, where's my shit? Where's those fucking gummy bears we bought in the summer that are now one loaf of melted gummy bears
loaf.
from sitting in the fucking hot van? It makes you crazy.
It is hard to know what is your stuff in your suitcase or your carry-on or that plastic bag filled with jerky or where is it? Like, where is everything you need?
We poured the Jameson into a sneaky bottle of unsweetened tea, but we keep buying unsweetened tea, and we're afraid to drink out of any of them because one of them might be Jameson. And is it hot Jameson? And
Can I pee, though? Is this a good time to pee?
Go pee, because we want to talk about
Let's
you
take a
behind
break.
your
Yeah,
back.
I
take a
figured
break.
as much.
All right, because we got to get to Scranton. That's the missile.
We still haven't talked about the job interview you gave at the Nyack bar.
All right, we'll
come back to that.
We'll come back to that. We'll regroup.
Comes with food, just sign for it. It's all paid for.
Oh my God, this
You were
would have.
serious?
Yeah, I got sushi. I got
Oh,
Japanese food.
awesome.
Did you get?
Well,
Did you get bacon and pineapple pizza sushi? All right,
Doug, you know
thank
what-
you. I
Doug,
like Philadelphia roll.
you know what's right down the street?
What? Pizza?
There's a Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Squirting pee through the toilet seat and the seat. I have to sit
Uh,
at the back of the toilet.
Oh yeah, it's a short toilet, and you're a tall girl. Short toilet and a tall girl. That's a Joan Armatrading song.
Doug, there's a Salvation Army down the street.
I love it when you call me names. Let's play that at the end. If Joan Armatrading tried to sue us for
And
fucking copyright infringement.
right down the street,
What is it? Salvation Army?
just past the Bob
Yeah.
Evans. Friendlies.
Friendlies. Oh my God, a fish-a-majig would
Yeah.
make me feel so much
They're open
greasier.
till midnight.
No, I don't want to do it. It's so fucking greasy.
Okay.
That stuff when I was 13. Yeah, you don't feel unhealthy eating the greasiest fish sandwich. Even a fillet of fish at McDonald's makes you feel disgusting.
No, you got to scrape the tartar off. They just put too much on.
But this is Friendly's fish-a-majig sandwich.
What's on it? Build it.
Well, it's dripping with fucking tartar sauce.
So it's bathed in tartar.
But it's like a grilled cheese bread where it's buttered
Toasted?
bread.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Grilled, thick, buttery bread with weeping cheese and all sorts of tartar sauce.
Ugh.
And you feel it coming through your pores once you eat even a little bit, but it's so goddamn good. Comfort food. There's a Friendly's down the road.
Rachel Ray says that all food should feel like soul food. Like comfort food.
Like chitlins?
No, just like
No,
that all food should fuel your soul.
But there's comfort foods that were good when you were a kid that now you go, oh, I'm going to die. Whatever I ate today where I said I feel gouty.
Oh, you ate tomato bisque
Oh, that
last
was
night. That made
yesterday.
you feel gouty, and then I finished it.
Because you're younger.
No, it's not that I'm younger. It's just that I grew up with an expectation of overeating.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
It's a very Jewish. Doug hates when I fucking drop the Jew thing, but
It's
it is
not
a very
fucking Jewish at all.
It is.
You
Overeating
fucking-
is very Jewish. It's very like that you're fed until you're
That's
fed.
Italian.
It's
Jesus.
yeah, it's the same thing.
No, it's not the
It
same
is.
thing.
Well, in
I
Judaism,
fucking grew up with
Italians
fucking
are overfed. I don't know why they're
Jew.
overfed. Jews are overfed until they forget the Holocaust. That's that.
Jewish
you're just
food is so
overfed.
disgusting. I can't imagine
like
you
kugel?
being fucking anything but
You don't like
anorexic.
kugel? You don't. I was anorexic for 3
Well,
months.
you should
What's
be if you
kugel?
eat Jewish food.
Kugel
It's
is like a
disgusting.
sweet. It's like a sweet pasta. It's like a dessert.
That's why the
pasta.
Germans tried to exterminate you. You're the only people who ate more bland, awful food than them, and they didn't want to rival. Oh, yeah.
This town ain't big enough.
This town ain't big enough for.
Matzah? Oh, we eat wet dough. Oh, that beats our... What's the fucking German staple?
Spätzle.
No, that you put on hot dogs.
Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut. Oh, sauerkraut almost has a flavor. They eat wet dough. They're stealing our jobs. Get a train. Can you imagine if Amtrak...
What? Here we go.
And you imagine if Amtrak was in charge of killing the Jews? And you go, yeah, there's a lot of delays because the freight trains have, I don't know if you ever traveled by Amtrak, but that's the king of the 18-hour delay. We always wanted to do an Amtrak tour because I love the train, but every time you take them, literal 18-hour delays, and I want to picture a lot of Jews on an Amtrak train going, can't you just kill me? Because I'm tired of sitting here waiting for the freight trains that have
It's only going from the barracks to the oven.
from the freezer to the barracks to the oven.
I
Come
like
on,
that
does
somebody
anyone
would,
remember that?
Somebody
fucking
would complain
jingle?
that the worst part of the Holocaust was the train delay from the Get-Out to Dachau. Oh, it was all fine, but then they took us from the ghetto
Oh,
to
the
Dachau, and there was a 4-hour delay.
6-hour
and there
delay
were no
outside of
snacks.
Wichita, and they wouldn't let us off to smoke.
You talk to the employees; they don't know anything. They
This
don't
might
give
be
any
a
answers.
three-parter because I don't know if we're going to get
Three-parter.
back to. Wait, what did you say we had to get back to?
By the way, I like complaining about how long it took you to get to a concentration camp.
They said we were going to be on time. Look at this lady.
They said I was
Does
going to be
anyone
on
have a
time.
watch? Does anyone have a watch?
I didn't get to Bergen-Belsen until 2 a.m.
And you know what I would say? That would be a Jewish thing.
You would.
No, a Jew would complain.
You're right,
Yeah.
of course. That's why they were told to.
I agree with the negative
That's why they were
stereotypes, but
told
overeating?
to get on the train and leave their earrings in the apartment. They took a lot of their jewelry.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
Okay, we were going to come
gaudy.
back.
Anyway.
we were going to come back and talk about you conducting an interview
all right.
at the bar.
So we're at
I'm going to take a
in
leak.
Nyack.
I'm going to take a leak. You guys,
We'll
Watch out, because I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'm embarrassed to say it. I can't pee on that fucking toilet without my tinkle sprinkling out between the. Okay, hold on. Let me answer this.
Oh, you got to front load it.
Hello?
Oh, you got to front load it. I wish I could put this on the podcast.
Yes?
I was going to say we can take care of this without you.
Yes, I'm
but
here.
she took a fucking phone call on a
Sorry,
podcast.
Someone's yelling behind me. I apologize. What's that?
She's on the fucking phone, Chaille. Seriously, she took a fucking phone call
are
on
you
the
at
podcast.
the hotel? What hotel are we at?
We're not at a hotel.
We're at a.
No one's invited.
Next to the La Quinta. We're
No,
at the,
no one's invited
I
here.
ordered food.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
All right, never mind.
No, next to the La Quinta. We're at the, what's it called? The
Hospitality Inn.
Hospitality Inn.
Sorry, my bad. I was bad there.
And
I
we're-
thought
if
she
you
had
see the
friends coming.
Motorcycle in the parking lot. We're right next to that. I'll come out here.
It's the door is open.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
hold on.
My bad. Sorry. You should have told me. It's the food. I thought you had a friend coming over. All right. Chaille and Sir fucking chats a lot. Going to get sushi. We got some takeout sushi. This will probably be edited out of the podcast, but it shouldn't be because you don't fucking start tweeting and watching baseball while like if I did Joe Rogan's podcast and all of a sudden I was taking calls or fucking putting on TV. Hang on. No, just ignore the fact that I'm trying to hook up a HDMI cable, Joe Rogan, on your podcast. Yeah, no, I'm just going to fiddle because I want to watch TV while I'm your guest. Unfucking believable. I can't wait to burn this girl with cigarettes in her sleep. I can't wait to drug her drink like Cosby. Oh, sorry. I was talking in front of your back while you were turned the other way. It's just, it's like if you stepped in shit on the lawn outside of my door and then came in and wiped your feet on my carpet. It's kind of like that. But we do have sushi, and she'll go, hey, I bought you sushi. And always neglect the fact that she just completely ran roughshod over the podcast by playing fucking games and music and tweeting and Facebooking and Tindering for Negroes. Ow!
I'm sorry that there are
were you here?
so many things in my life that are more interesting than you.
That's what you get. When you get Morgan Murphy as a podcast guest, she goes, oh, I'm so uninterested in even being part of this, I will just shit all over it. Fortunately, she doesn't do that on stage. She comes on stage, she crushes, she kills. While I'm working on my act in the hotel, she tries to sabotage it by saying, oh, that reminds me about me. Let me talk while you're trying to fucking pay attention with the last 3 synapses in your head. Let me dance all over them with that size 10.5 fucking soft shoe that I wear and scuff my feet. let me snort like right when you're about to try to not throw up for once. Don't worry, this is all being cut out. I just don't remember what button to push, and I don't have my reading glasses.
I thought we should have plates because I got noodles.
All right.
Woohoo! Look at this shit.
Where were we?
Hold on a second.
What were we talking? Just hit the button. Hit the
What? Stop it?
the pause.
Hey, this is Ronda Rousey, and you're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
So, where did we leave that one? Where were we?
Arguing, probably.
Somewhere between you yelling at me for interrupting or not paying attention, which are the opposite things. Like there's literally... You yelled at me for interrupting, and then you yelled at me for not interrupting, and I don't know what to do. I don't know whether or not to fucking interrupt or look at my phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. A lot of times in a conversation, I talk back about what we're talking about and not use what you said as a diversion down, hey, what about me lane? And if that doesn't happen, I don't go, oh, if we're not talking about me, I'm going to go on the internet at lunch.
I had work emails.
Then you shouldn't be on a fucking podcast.
All right,
Oh, sorry.
I'll leave. I'll hang out with the
Where are you going to
owners.
go?
I'm going to go
You
to the
have nowhere
lobby.
to go. No one
with my
even
people.
likes you. They're fucking Indians.
I'm going to go to the
They
fucking
don't-
lobby with my people and ask that kid to show me his dirt bike.
Patel Motel Mafia, but they have a smoking room. You can't leave me. I'm in a smoking room.
I'm
I
going to
do
go
have
to
a
La
point.
Quinta with that lady and her dogs.
They don't have smoking rooms.
That's all right. I don't need to smoke when I'm not around you.
I hear that a lot. I hear that from a lot of the ladies. All right, where
Are
were
you
we,
sipping
Chaille?
my soup?
Gregory Chaille?
Okay, go ahead, Chaille.
You guys were going to talk about giving that job interview at the Nyack Time Hotel.
Boy.
All right, yeah. So we were at a point where I was going to say, hey, let's make this a three-parter. But no, we're at the Nyack Hotel. We're day drinking on a night off, waiting for Chaille to get there. The gig's the next day. Let's sit here at the whatever.
At the sort of gastro pubby bar eating bagged frozen corn. Go ahead.
It would be if hipster were cool enough to become TGI Fridays. That would be like, no, we're a hipster bar. No, you're a fake hipster bar. Wait, can we be faker than hipsters? Yes, you can. You can be the Time Nyack.
Yeah.
Just the plastic shitty hotel. I had a lot of beefs with them that I forgot, but I remember leaving going, all the staff was cool, but everything else sucked, and I don't remember why. But I always... Me and Miss M&M, Morgan Murphy, sitting day drinking at the bar on our day off. She just got in, waiting for her bag that will not show up for days, having some cocktails. Daytime, and they were interviewing for the new banquet manager because we're sitting there for quite a while, and there's always some doofus in a tie or a lady dressed smart sitting on the back wall of this empty bar in the booth section. And you go, oh, that's a job interview. And then the manager would come out and talk to them, and then they'd go away, and then a new one would show up, and then they'd go away with the manager. So by the time we're a little bit liquored up, some dowdy woman, dowdy I think would be a good way to describe her. Yes.
I would have called her a perfectly nice person, but go ahead.
why does dowdy mean not nice?
I just don't understand why you had to signal out her fucking appearance. I feel like she was just a nice lady. Let's say
but
nice
dowdy
lady.
it's
Maybe she was nice and dowdy.
she was dowdy. I don't even.
She's the kind of person who's so regular she would never expect a stranger talking about her on a podcast. Go ahead.
Nailed it.
I didn't say she was ugly or something.
You're just
getting
you
fucking
downgraded her.
contentious because I'm contentious with you for being rude on my podcast. She was dowdy, and no one even knows what that means. She's a rumpled lady that tried to put herself together enough for an interview. She was rumpled in real life, and she buttoned that top button
Right.
barely to look professional, and she was very nice. She was
Very
sweet,
nice.
and I was
Very sweet.
and I was very sweet as the manager.
You had one of your.
I was
suits
the
on?
general manager.
Who pretended to be
I go,
interviewing her.
are you waiting for the interview? And fortunately, I'm still in my suit from a week before with a tie on, even though it's
a
an
week
awkward
before?
suit.
Your suit was from 42 years before.
But I'd been wearing it for a week
Sure.
since the LA shit started. So I go, oh, I'm sorry, are you here for the interview? Come on over. I waved her over to the
she
bar.
was over on the back wall.
She's
Oh,
on the
yeah.
way back wall where they
Yeah.
have a seat right here and the manager will be with you. And we're just slung over having fucking day Manhattans or whatever we're drinking. And I'm sorry, I'm just so deep in the weeds. I didn't know. Come on over. Listen, we're just kind of a carefree organization. I don't know if you remember what I said.
Oh, no,
I'm
I
sorry. Am I
remember.
interrupting your fucking baseball? Do you know when you make eye contact? It's
I
a
was
more,
paying attention.
I know,
was going
but
to
if
say.
you look at me and you
Hold
don't
on,
stare at the
guys.
fucking baseball game,
I wasn't.
feel more comfortable talking to you.
I was thinking that you interrupted me in the middle of my trying to look for a place to leave because I knew you were going to commit to a bit that I couldn't
I'll do
commit
this.
to emotionally.
I'll do this. I'll look in your eyes
Okay,
when
go
they're
ahead.
staring in a different direction,
All right.
so it feels like we're having an actual conversation.
Fine.
It's not your act. You can't just fucking go on autopilot and say it.
I'm
we're
not
having
on
a
autopilot.
conversation.
You're talking about a part of the night where you were doing a bit and pretending to be somebody, and this person was waiting for an interview, and I thought, I don't want any part of this because this poor lady just wants to be interviewed by her boss,
You
and
did.
you're ruining her time.
You did have that look
I
on your
did.
face. You didn't play at all.
Not at all.
You were less day drinking than me.
Yeah, I will.
I'll give you that.
Look,
you were not nearly.
I'll
as,
commit to most bits, but this poor lady wanted to make sure there were enough fucking finger sandwiches on a tray at a fucking hotel in wherever we were, and I didn't want her being fooled.
Well, I did fool her well.
Yeah, you fooled her very well. You convinced her so much that she was there to meet with you that I'm not sure we're going to the same place after we die.
She kind of did open up her bowels, why she left her last job, and
Yeah, of course she did, because you were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so late. Oh man, tell
do you
me
want
why
a
you
drink?
want this job.
I'll get you a drink. It's not like
drink."
other places you've worked. You can have a drink.
I don't
with us.
do pranks. I'm a nice lady. I'm a nice lady to people.
I
don't do mean comedy.
It wasn't mean.
It was mean.
No, it loosened her up for the next interview.
It was nice.
When I
then.
finally broke and I said, listen, I'm not really the general manager. I'm just fucking with you. But you know what? That got the first show out of your system.
That part I legitimately accept was valuable for her because she got to kind of have a pretend interview.
Like a mock.
Like a mock interview.
I will give you an example. Fight Club, the scene where he holds a gun to his head and I'm going to fucking kill you, I'm going to fucking kill you. He's robbing a convenience store, whatever. And then he goes, listen, you're going to go to school. What do you want to do? What's your... Like, tomorrow, everything will be different because you had a near-death experience. This was the most mild milquetoast version of, hey, you got through this weird interview, now you have to go talk to some fucking... The schlub that was the manager of that business with that helmet hair. He had, like imagine Donald Trump's hair, if it were natural thick hair, on a Ken doll. That much hair. It was just, it was the most ridiculous... He looked like the... younger Trump, like a little tiny head with too much hair.
One of the sons?
Yeah, one of the sons. And he was a douche.
Yeah. I wonder if you got the job.
I want to
wonder
call.
if it was because of or in spite of you.
I think she.
I think his name was Brian.
I think
Remember?
she felt put upon on that whole thing. She had a look in her face when she walked away. I got to tell you the truth.
Yeah, she didn't probably get the job.
No.
Probably out of his spite for me. Well, no, I told someone afterwards. I go, hey, tell that fucking manager guy that we fucked with
bartender.
her. So,
she ratted you out when you walked away.
fucking rats. The whole fucking hotel. I just remember leaving there going, all the staff's been cool, but everything else fucking sucked about that hotel. Nothing worked.
No vending machines. You had to walk down the street to the liquor store.
Yeah. They had an ice machine, but no ice buckets. You still had to call room service to get an ice bucket, and they're only open certain hours. Zero vending. Like, I go, well, what if I said, you don't have vending machines whatsoever? And they said, no, we're trying to become, we're trendy and some other word. And I go, so that's trendy and modern. That was the other word, modern. And I go, well, when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, parched from drinking at your overpriced bar, which was horrifically overpriced for a place that was on the fucking same hill. If you ever saw The Deer Hunter, that hill that they lived on in that shack where, what's her name, had to live without her husband. Yeah, that's where it's located. The point is...
It's right next to the highway, right at a place where, like, truck drivers got nervous and braked. Like, it was very screechy.
So I said, I go, what happens when you wake up in the middle of the night parched from drinking at your overpriced bar? And she goes, well, you just go down to the gas station, hump down the fucking hill to a gas station.
Where I went.
On a creepy road.
You cross a freeway on-ramp. That's the on-ramp right there.
You cross the on-ramp to the freeway to get to the creepy gas station in a fucking angry neighborhood. I go, so that's modern? I have to hump down to the fucking creepy gas station and load up ahead of time in case I get thirsty in the middle of the night because you don't even have water available, you fucking cunts. Fuck Nyack the Time. Get on your Yelp and talk about him if you've stayed there and have writing ability that's creative and aren't just the killer termite that goes, you fucking suck. Boom. Let's get to the meat of the tour that has seemed like a month and we've only done 5 shows. Harrisburg was fantastic. Weird venue, but the crowd made up for it.
Oh, we like the venue.
After that, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Improvs. There was one other. Yeah, that's it. Nyack, Harrisburg. No, I'm coming back to the one that has scabs. Yeah, Cleveland is the same as it always is.
So that first week, which one stands out?
We have to mention 2 names. Do you have the 2 names? Occasionally we do the surprise guest set. If I find out a comic, a local newbie comic, is hanging around or in the audience, we'll just surprise guest set them.
Yeah.
Hey, this next guest set is a surprise for everyone involved because I've never met him, don't know nothing about him, and he doesn't know he's about to come up. Welcome up,
Jeremy Cash.
Jeremy Cash. That was Nyack. That was the first night. And that dude was funny.
I felt like everybody you brought up before show. I mean, like every opener you brought up was hilarious.
There was only two.
Yeah, they were both
and they
funny.
were both hilarious. The other guy wasn't a surprise guest set. That was one of the rare times I actually checked my email.
Watched
and
the
a
video
guy.
he sent you, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say, "Hey, like there's a kid from I think he's from New Hampshire. He wants to open one of those New England shows, and he's a big fat Trump impersonator." And I'm like, "Nah, like I never emailed him back." But nah, I don't need a big fat Trump. It's not the right setting. I'm sure you do well in whatever you do, but not on this. And this kid, Jeremy Cash, went up as a surprise guest.
He had no idea.
Yeah. Watch for that kid. But when we were in, was it Harrisburg? Where was it?
Scranton.
Pittsburgh. Oh, Scranton.
Oh, Scranton. All right. Now we get into the shooter show.
But do you remember that guy's name? You know his first name.
No, I don't.
Zach Hammond.
Zach Hammond. They're both kind of
I
equally
know. I don't expect you
innocuous
to know.
names. Those are names, both of those names are a lazy writer. Zach Hammond, Jeremy Cash. I don't need a new partner. I'm getting too old for this shit. They're lazy writers' names. Your parents are both lazy writers. Zach Galifianakis is a name that once you can say it, you can't get it out of your head. Jeremy Cash
is...
and Zach Hammond. Partnered up again. You're the writer. Go ahead. Show me some hack writing skills.
Oh, I was just waiting for you to move on.
Yeah.
Oh, so Zach Hammond, he sends me an email that I was bored enough to actually check my emails, and he says, "Hey, I'm a new comic or whatever. I'm a comic, and I see you're coming. And here's a clip about the time I faked being an attorney." And
Great
just
clip.
that.
Yeah, you were in.
That's enough to watch it, and the story is really fucking funny. It's just
Genuinely faked being an attorney in
Yeah.
a court of law.
yeah, and it's a fucking brilliant story. And I go, all right, yeah, you have to do that story, but you're on. And it didn't hurt that in Scranton, I don't even want to tell this story. Scranton, we were trying to book Scranton, and we've done this a couple times where we've done this in huge markets. I won't mention which ones where we didn't. We know we have a draw. We couldn't find a venue that was willing to play because they doubted our. So we sell tickets without a venue. Venue TBA in your city. So Brian tries this in shit market Scranton. We sell a few tickets. Still can't find a venue. Finally, we get a venue. Hey, we already have this many people that bought tickets. And then we get the Ritz Theater or something
The
like
Ritz.
that.
It's like an event center.
We get that, and then some drunken fucking asshole, I assume fan. It's weird that I've done no due diligence on this shithead, but I read 4 of his Facebook posts that Brian screenshotted, like so drunk. I believe he's in Ireland. But one of them said, "I'll shoot up the fucking place." All so misspelled. It's like you have to do shotting with 3 G's. Well, Brian, he looks at my Facebook because I don't, and he blocked the guy on our Facebook. So he goes to the Ritz fucking Art Center, their Facebook, and mentions shooting up the place, which. If it's a drunken fan from Ireland, yeah, that's why I don't go on Facebook. Yeah. They're just idiots, just write anything. I don't care. He's writing on the venue's Facebook, "Oh, you mentioned shooting. Turns out the venue, their day job at the venue, they teach classes for children. So parents of children are seeing these Facebook comments of, 'I'll shoot the fucking place up, yeah, fucking 7 Y's and a Z.' And they're like, 'Why is someone's going to shoot it up?' Because they canceled the fucking... And the guy was very nice about it. He wrote to Brian, 'I'm sorry.' He watched my act, like YouTube clips, with his 12-year-old son and said, 'Oh, we're laughing at this.' Then, I'm sorry, now I have to draw the line at death threats. And you can't explain my entire history and my stupid idiot fan base.
But he has other people to answer to. So
you can't explain to the owner of a theater that his aim is probably as bad as his spelling.
Absolutely. So they canceled the venue, and this is 3 days out. This is a Brian Hennigan special, where, again, we start a 3-week tour. Fucking Ralphie May, Ron White... A million comics. They probably have New Year's Eve of next year booked already. We start a 3-week tour, and Hennigan doesn't even have the 4th night booked. It's a TBA that gets canceled because of a fucking weird drunk guy in Ireland writing, "I shoot the fucking place up." So then we get the gig moved.
And to be fair, we don't blame the Ritz. Not at all.
What?
We don't blame the Ritz.
No, the
I'm just
Ritz
saying,
was...
Yeah,
he had to
he
fucking...
had to. And anyone would
That's
have
their
in that
cash
situation.
cow, is teaching classes at whatever fucking relic of a venue that might have been anyway. But then he says... The guy's nice enough to say, "I'll help you try to find another venue." So he finds a banquet room at the Radisson. Is it Radisson?
Yeah, the Grand
Radisson
Ballroom after the Polk bridal shower.
The Radisson where we're
The
staying.
Polk family bridal
way.
shower was in it.
The Radisson where we're staying.
They're getting ahead of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the point.
I'll let you get to the
No,
bit.
but I can take that part out.
No. That's the point, is they found...
I apologize at this point in the podcast for being too engaged. I know that was your pet peeve earlier, was that I wasn't engaged enough, so I'm so sorry for being
Everything about you
involved.
is my pet peeve.
So
the guy from the Ritz says, "I'll help you find a new venue," and they find a banquet room at the Radisson Hotel, where if you've ever been poor and had to go to a poor person's wedding, it's that fabric adjustable wall room where the Kiwanis has their Christmas party, where Enterprise Rent-A-Car has their Salesman of the Year award. It's just this stacking chair, dull, all brown, all fabric, all fluorescent lit. And I had my choice of cancel the gig altogether, or let's do this because it's funny that we got 86th for a death threat. And at the time, I said, yeah, that's funny. Well, by the time we get to the gig, it wasn't funny anymore. And there we are in the exact room I pictured, with the fucking fabric sliding walls and a...
What you're talking about is an air wall, which can make one, like if you get the smaller room, but then you get more people, you can take that air wall back and you have a double size and then a triple size. And we went...
If you ever went to an Amway meeting and you go, I'm only going to this because I can't believe Amway still exists. Yeah, it's that room.
Yeah.
In the Radisson. Down the hallway away from the buffet where you go, there's no rooms this way. What's going on? Well, it's Kiwanis. Chaille made it look good. We walked in there early and it was
nice.
Fucking ugly.
Delightful pretzels in the back. Delightful.
Chaille made it look as good as it could.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank God there was a wedding a couple days ago because they had the tooling up on one of the back walls. And I plugged in the power strip and all the lights lit up, which I'm sure some bridesmaids took a long time putting that all together.
Yeah.
So we moved the stage over to where that was your backdrop.
You piggybacked ambiance.
Yes, absolutely. At no cost.
And it still can't work. It's a box with high ceilings, and everyone's in these stackable fucking awful chairs.
No PA.
No PA. It was
Dufresne Party of Three.
There you
Dufresne Party of Three.
That kind of sound system, and the most dull audience. Where did you feel like you had a good set, Murph?
I actually quite liked the room. I thought it was nice. I thought the armed police officers in the back who were keeping an eye out for us were actually the most receptive audience of the whole group.
That was the most fucked up part, is I assumed, I walked down, I was day drinking heavily. I didn't care anymore.
No, you did that thing where you come in.
Anymore.
You come in and you look, and then you go, I'm leaving. You just leave it all to me, which is fine. I know that. But when you say, you've done it a couple times.
Oh, sometimes I say I'm leaving, meaning comedy. Like I'm
canceled the gig.
Yeah, I'm going to the fucking Johnny Depp Island, and I'm never coming back. I'm just going to be a butler.
I thought they were lovely. Nice
the
crowd.
Security.
Receptive crowd.
Well, I walked down a minute before showtime because I don't want to be... I just don't want to do comedy anymore. This is stupid. And there's two cops there. Constables they had on the back of their jerseys with their tasers and their fucking sidearms.
They were...
And I go, really? They're taking this... It's not a death threat. This is a one drunk guy. I get it. No one else gets it. I didn't find out till afterwards they were already hired by the fucking Ritz place. We had to hire off-duty cops.
We had to, yeah.
Yeah, there's some kind of fucking maneuvering. This happened at the Comedy Works in Denver once. The only time I worked there where I'm like, all right, this is some fucking shenanigans where they're getting shaken down, where they have to hire fucking off-duty cops. And I got into a fucking beef with some former sheriff who's like, don't you ever call me out. Fuck you, you fucking faggot. Oh, my God, I'm still angry about that, like 15 years later.
But these cops were nice.
These guys were cool. I didn't know it's because we were paying them, and somehow we paid for them we had to pay for them at the other venue that fired us, yet still here they were. We had to pay for fucking off-duty cop security. I think I opened with that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm like, we're supposed to pay off the cops, not pay the cops.
It was like buying strippers in cop uniforms who never take off their cop uniforms.
They were cool as shit.
They were great. I walked back to get a pretzel, and one of the cops said, I do a
Hey,
joke.
what was your bit?
Well, I do a joke about how I don't get blowjobs anymore, and it was a long bit, and I went back to get a pretzel, and one of the cops goes, "Sorry, you don't get blowjobs anymore."
But you did fuck with them on some
Oh, it was great.
level.
They were, yeah, I did. I fucked with them. I said thank you for being here, et cetera, et cetera. But it was, they were lovely. Even as they left, like one of them was like quoting one of your jokes. Like they were very engaged in
What
the
did he
show.
say? He said, "Hey, we're leaving now. We gotta go rape some chicks in the parking lot."
It was like about your bit.
It was a callback. They were not saying
No,
that.
but they were
calling back to the jokes.
They were very professional the whole time, and they were watching the show because they knew there was no problem. There was not going to be a problem. They were just hanging out.
I know. I want to find out from Hennigan.
They were like, none of these people in the audience are sober enough to load a gun. I think
Here's
that's what
the
they
thing
thought.
about the audience. The audience was so dull, yet happy to be there.
I didn't get dull because
Maybe it was all in my head,
Yeah.
but it was like
Yeah, I didn't get dull. I thought they were great. They were fun.
then it was all in my head.
Per usual.
You did wake up 3 seconds before you went on stage.
But after the show, I hid out back smoking until Chaille always makes me come out to sign merch. I try to let all the dead weight people that didn't like me leave, and Chaille will come back and go, "Come on, man." And I went out, and there was a huge line for merch, and they were still just as dull. Like when we have to do merch, usually you walk out and everyone's like, "Yeah, here he is." Quiet, silent, standing in line like it's a fucking wedding reception for the dead. Like you're still.
you know why?
Why?
There were fucking two guys with guns there
That might be
overseeing
it.
the crowd. They were standing at the front, and everyone was very orderly, and they were all standing back because the cops were right by the table until Tracy and I were like, "Come up here, start rushing the table because it's too weird. You guys standing 8 feet back from where you are."
It turned into one of those rare nights where I can actually hang out with the crowd. The bar in the hotel was open. Oh, that was the point that I said you jumped the gun. They moved the gig to the Radisson, which happened to be the same hotel that we're staying in. So a guy threatens to shoot up the fucking room. Mm-hmm. They go, "We can't have this gig. We'll move it to the same hotel you're staying at in case the shooter is late and misses his bus transfer. He can still kill you because you'll be there till noon the next day."
Check out.
It was like you were like, "Hey, this guy said he'd kill me," and then they were like, "You know what? We'll make it that easier."
And they go, we'll move you to a venue that doesn't care about shooters.
Or charge for parking.
It was so fucking weird. And also so fake news. No one's going to shoot the place up.
But you did meet Bingo Buttercheeks.
Oh,
showed
yeah.
up.
Oh,
He had
that guy
great
brought
shirt.
that. Oh, eat a pie faggot.
Oh, here's one of the shirts. I'm wearing one right now, but he had the one Eat a Pie Faggot, which we didn't even remember.
That's the deepest track
Yeah.
ever. You have to know me so absolutely intimately to remember Eat a Pie Faggot.
It's like a D side.
Pretty much. If you don't want to get into vowels,
I thought
Yeah.
they were lovely. That whole crowd.
Me too. And hanging out in the bar after. I mean, you were up back.
but
in the
that's
smoking,
yeah,
but
that's
we were
the
at
thing. We hung out with
Yeah.
the fucking crowd, where usually there's too many people. I don't have the attention span, but
Yeah, we drank in that bar till.
I
bar
think
closed.
I left early because I had to
Yeah.
fly to New York the next
You
day.
were leaving the next
but
day.
yeah.
We were there until 2 a.m. Last call.
Yeah, I had to get up at 3, 4.
yeah, that was definitely a night. I remember waking up that hungover the next day, and I forgot completely about how much I hated my show, and I remembered how much fun it was to hang out with all those people That fucking weird redheaded girl, I kept poking her glasses up. She had big, thick glasses, but they'd slip down her Asian nose. She wasn't Asian at all.
Asian.
Yeah, but the glasses slipped down like her nose wasn't big enough to hold them up. So she's trying to look at me through the top frames, and I just kept pushing her fucking glasses back up so she could look through the lenses and not the frame. It was a lot of fun. And I remembered the fun part. On a rare occasion, I remembered the fun afterwards and not how much I hated the show in a fucking banquet hall.
Yeah, sometimes those are the fun ones, just because you really don't know what's going to happen. And that was definitely that night. And it had nothing to do with the shooter. It was like walking in and then going, "Where's the PA?" We don't have a PA. What? Plugging into the baseboard and going through the ceiling tile speakers? Who? What?
It worked fine.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But it shouldn't work like that at all. But if it didn't work like that here and again, there's no reason to be on the road.
Yeah.
You know what? The Improv in Pittsburgh and the Improv in Cleveland and the Levity Live in Nyack, same fucking place. You need a fucking Scranton to just shake you up a little bit.
Well, there's something that also tells you you're successful that's like, if you have to do something ironically that you used to do earnestly. Do you know what I mean? Like you were performing in a way and living in a way and accommodating people in a way that you used to have to do, which is kind of a good reminder of where you've gotten to, if I'm not mistaken.
It's ironically is the word that you use, as though we do this on purpose.
I'm not saying
hey,
it on
let's
purpose.
do some
I'm
goofy
saying
gig.
I'm saying you appreciate it on purpose.
After the fact,
right?
In hindsight,
right.
That day I wanted to kill myself, but yeah, you give it 2 days and you go, or 12 hours, and you go, oh, that was kind of funny. That even in the build-up, it was funny. It's in the moment where you have to actually do the shittiest show in the shittiest circumstances where I wasn't amused. This sucks. I hate myself. I hate the fact that you had to pay for Ritz tickets and a fucking, a fucking
banquet hall, grand ballroom.
I was trying to find the other Amway, but anyway,
The
but is it not a gift?
Herbalife.
Is it not a gift to be reminded that you don't have to do that all the time?
Did you just come off of some self-help seminar where you think,
no.
Oh, that's a gift? No, it fucking sucked shit. It sucked wet corn.
It's like going
shit.
to fucking volunteer in Guatemala for a week and you're living in a hut and you have no running water and you come home and you go, I'm really lucky to have what I have. You're lucky to have what you have. You're lucky that you don't have to do that every gig. Because you could. Like a lot of people. That's
I
what I'm trying
enjoy
to
the
say.
fact that I still do that.
Right.
I did one of those, I think it was the Jay Okerson podcast. No, it was someone, I don't know, someone asked me, some interviewer that said, are you, this is going to stink, I'm too drunk to talk. Where he said, do you not want to do that because about like acting? Fuck it, let's just kill this. I can't remember exactly what I'm talking about.
But you need an out.
I know. That's why I'm looking for a fucking dead beat you can edit.
I know what you're saying, though, Morgan. Because I look forward to shows like that. Not that I want them, but when I discover that that's going to happen, that excited about that because we always do the show. Yeah. We never cancel, and being able to pull it off under any circumstance, that's fun.
They genuinely seemed happy afterwards, where I'm always confused. And we talked about this because Morgan and I have both worked the UK, where people will sit silently and you get flop sweats as a professional, as a seasoned professional. You think you're dying, and at the end they give you a standing ovation. You're like, because they're not like American audiences. They don't go, woo, woo, yeah, boo, boo, woo, stand up to the thing. They sit there like it's a play. They're at theater, and they're very polite. And at the end, they boo, boo, and you think you're fucking dying on your ass. And you go back there, and you go, I know this is how it's going to go. They're going to stare at me blankly, and they'll go, nah, at a punchline, and you go, oh fuck, I'm dying, and oil is sweating out of your forehead. Oh fuck, this time it's real. No, it's never real. It's always a dream. They're gonna stand up at the end and clap because they're fucking trained, polite English people. But that's what Scranton was like. Under threat of a shooter, Scranton stood strong. They were one. It brought people together. Even if it was only 80. I don't know how many. Go ahead. Close it up, Morgan.
I got nothing. I just thought that for an audience under duress, it was the best possible outcome.
We ain't even close to done with this tour. So we'll see you in the next podcast. Morgan Murphy. Hitting the trails. Tracy Chaille hitting the trails. Andy Andrus coming in off the bench. And, oh, God damn it. What will New England bring? I have my own problems with that. We'll bring them up next time. Hey, next podcast, remind me to start with, you know what, sometimes it's a job, and it's not a fucking meet and greet. Click. Play the, are we just doing Bird Cloud recently?
Bird Cloud and Mattoid.
Hey, fuck it, we haven't done the Mattoid in a while.
Yeah.
Get the Mattoid. All right, here's a Mattoid.
Party time. Party time. Party time. Party time. Drink your drinks and eat your eats. It's party time. Laugh your laughs and eat your eats. It's party time. Smile your smiles and blue your blues. It's party time. Dance your dance and shoe your shoes. It's party time. Howl your howls and suck your socks. It's party time. Yeah. party time, party time, party time. Hey! Party time, yeah! Party time.
We're starting this, and I hope. But Chaille's been up for a while, and he seems in good shape for as drunk as I thought he was last night. Because Hennigan, we're doing the Kanopka's on the mic. Brian Hennigan is here. Chaille's here, but you had a story. The last podcast went too long last night, so we waited. But you said you have a story that's going to make Chaille puke. So I was very happy that he went home hungover, or went home drunk, and I was hoping you'd be more hungover than you are.
I'm chugging this beer. Like, I'm really trying to. It's already almost gone. If there's one more, just to help.
Be right there.
This we're going to make quick work of this because
can I get one too, please? Thank you.
Hennigan explained this to me at the end of the podcast last night. At some point, we don't know. Chaille's going to have to deal with this, but I was bitching about stevia. And stevia, where they go, there's no artificial sugars. And then you go, oh, this still tastes like artificial. Stevia tastes like shit. And Hennigan jumped on the mic and explained how stevia ruined the end of Breaking Bad. He didn't explain it. He just said it. But then he told me today what he meant and how when he explains this to people, they all jump on his side, where they're probably being polite, going, yeah, makes sense to me. But go ahead, tell us how stevia ruined Breaking Bad.
Great things about Breaking Bad was how realistic it was in many aspects. So it certainly had the feeling of authenticity in every area. And
because of all of your...
A central plot point in the last episode was the annoying woman who was killed in the diner. Oh, spoiler alert if you're 5 years behind. But who was killed in the last episode in a poison substitution, switch, because she always asks for stevia. Well, the point is, generally speaking, even in LA, asking for stevia can be a bit vexatious, and certainly in Albuquerque. Okay. If you're going to have stevia at all, it's going to be under a brand name like Truvia. You're no point are you just going to be able to say, I want stevia in fucking Albuquerque. And for me, that just ruined the authenticity of the whole episode, and I regretted all 7 seasons.
There you go.
Retroactive hating.
The expose. This is a teaser for this Smart Fuck magazine expose that he's writing.
Yeah.
It's called 5 Years Late and You Won't Get It.
Yeah.
And it'll be a cover story on Smart Fuck magazine.
It will be under the a recurring feature called How to Remove the Fun from Everything.
Couldn't it be that, I can't really remember the details of that episode, but couldn't it be that this was a place that she frequented? So even if it was...
Well, the point was, in order to get... They were clearly constructing the plot well in advance, so they made it the case that every time she went into that diner, she always had to ask for stevia.
Okay.
And then he poisoned the stevia.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who the woman was.
Yeah. But it was a very...
I know it was a show I liked.
It was a very mundane, ordinary, run-of-the-mill diner. It wasn't Whole Foods Annex or something.
Yeah.
Just thinking if she always went there and she always asked for the same thing, even though she asked for the same thing wrong every time. I mean, I'm just trying to think of how they fucking would let something like that go. I remember when it happened, it was like, I had to think back on, the packet had it wasn't I don't know. I wasn't a big
These are
fan
also the shows where when they're getting stevia, they're smoking over breakfast. And you go, no one smokes. There's my 2 biggest pet peeves in movies are answering machines where they actually, but it's such an easy vehicle to
they just drop
further the story where they check their messages, which you haven't done since 1991.
Yeah.
And then they're smoking at the bar. Where are really? The DA is smoking at some New York bar. and then goes home and checks his voicemail. Really?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I feel there's been this glut of period television and period movies is because writers are continually nowadays stymied by the existence of smartphones. They cut through all the plot devices. Well, how am I going to get there? Google. Things like that. What do we do? Google.
GPS.
Yes, exactly. So everyone's trying to do, procedural cop drama set in the 70s and 80s and 60s or whatever, just so they can actually have a plot where people can't get answers immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Third biggest pet peeve in movies is the easy way out that you can't, where everything goes wrong. There's a nuclear warhead coming. You got to tell the boss, tell the president, and he's in a conversation. Mr. President, not now. I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife. Well, he said not now. You could have just yelled, there's a nuclear war. Don't stop. I hate where it was an easily solved problem that you make into. All right, there's my 3 pet peeves. Ben and April are here. Woo!
Hey, Ben and April. There they
Weird
are.
to see them in non-football times.
Wow.
Love ya.
What an
Just
honor.
bought an rug on the eBay and
A what?
rug.
It's a Mel Brooks thing.
You don't want carpet. You want rug. So we bought an area rug, and Bingo, of course, has to pick the colors. And then I'm scrolling through, and what comes up? 4x6 Green Bay Packers logo. I go, what about this? She's like, no!
It's got to be.
Yes! So I hope one of you vomits. Hey, by the way, Bingo's not social right now, so she fled when she heard April has Bingo's 40th birthday cake that she made that Bingo slept through, let's say, her 40th birthday. And she's had it in cold storage, cryogenics. And they had to clean out their freezer eventually, so she brought it over. So we'll eventually, as it de-thaws or thaws out, we'll be eating Bingo's 40th birthday cake.
As soon as it thaws, the air will be filled with celebratory feelings.
But beforehand, we're going to vomit. We're going to reverse bulimia because Hennigan, we're 3 eyes blind.
Yeah.
I got my eye is fucked up with Chileans. Ben, yours eye is it your right eye?
Chileans.
Left.
Okay, it's my right.
Is that racist?
Tom, right?
Cataract left.
Cataract left. Okay.
I got 2 lefts and 2 rights.
But we have the same
What-
prescription.
what
Well, both my eyes are fucked, so just keep
All right. So anyway,
If
everyone's
anyone
got
woke
fucked
up with any one of my eyes, they'd be very annoyed.
I have a small microaneurysm right near where the optic nerve is. in
What do you
my
have,
left eye.
insurance or something? Beat it. How would you know that?
It actually affects my vision sometimes in this eye, in my left eye, and it looks like there's a bubble somewhere in my field of vision, and there's a grid that they have you look at. God, I can't remember the name of it.
I went through that with
but there's
Dr.
a grid,
Phillips.
and you use you close the one eye with the good eye, and if you look straight in the center, somewhere on that grid, you'll see it like the squares will kind of blow out a little bit, and it's gotten less, but it hasn't gone away. That's been 8 years, maybe I've had that.
Yeah, you ignore things and
No, 8
I
years
let you
ago,
drive.
I was diagnosed 8 years ago, and I didn't have insurance, and it was fucking expensive. They put Trace, what'd they do? They put something in my bloodstream, and then like some fucking thing was touching my eyeball, and then they
Radium
looked in,
or something.
and then they looked into my eye for the dye to see it leaking out and through these micro little fissures or whatever. It was fucking
Tom
crazy.
did you say cataract or glaucoma?
Cataract.
Cataract.
The left
Wow.
eye.
What's yours, Ben?
Blown pupil from getting hit with a
Blown pupil from getting hit with a what?
Pupil.
paintball gun.
Paintball. You got hit in the. Are you the reason that they have to wear goggles now? Are you the kid that got lost an eye to a BB gun? It's all fun and games. Are you that guy?
For more than one reason.
Go tell me the story.
Oh, we were shooting a paintball gun Christmas morning. Shot a basketball. The gifts were hidden outside, so that they couldn't be found. It was very cold. Shot a basketball. Paintball never broke.
Ricochet
Rebounded
back.
off the basketball, nailed me in the eye.
That's every reason. When we go shooting, Joby takes us shooting, I sit in the car. Because you hear ricochets. You hear them coming out of the back of that dump. And I'm gonna sit in the car.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I never think of myself. I mean, I'll gamble on big things like where let's tour here where there's no track record or whatever. But and things like that, it's like, no, I'm not gambling on that. I'm just going to sit in the car.
When Gabe was punting footballs, hang on, let's get back to Hennigan, the filthy uncut Scotsman. His vision, he was the only guy that could one-up Shawnee, who built this place. They have, 2020. I think Shawnee is minus 2,200. He's 20, and Hennigan is 2,500.
I mean, I don't know about that system. I'm minus 15 or over minus 15 in both eyes. And again, the interesting thing about
metric.
Celsius or centigrade?
The interesting thing, of course,
furlongs and fathoms
about eyes is that there's no way you can tell just by looking at someone. So I've known someone for years, and I tell them how short-sighted I am, and I say, well, they say, but we've never seen you with glasses. And it's like, well, yeah, I work. Do you think I'm going to wear that thickness of glasses outside?
Well, Hennigan, we just played Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one of the times I played there previously, you had a fucked up contact lens where you had to leave the tour because Hennigan's eyesight is so bad that he has to go to some glass blower in Scotland that fashions by hand these. He's got Coke bottle contact lenses. That's how fucked up. Explain it to us.
Well, just that my eyes are so short. I'm so short-sighted that my contact lenses are specially made. They're not. You can't just get them from any contact lens supplier. And my actual spectacles are. It's annoying because in the States there's some fucking law here where you cannot use certain types of glass. So my lenses are made of plastic, whereas in Europe you can get them made of actual glass and they're much thinner. So here they look preposterous. Really like real Woody Allens.
George Burns.
What's the price difference?
You're talking about your eyeglasses,
my
not your
eyeglasses.
contacts.
Yeah, well, I talked about both there.
But what's the cost difference between getting the same thing in the UK as you would get over here?
Funnily enough, not that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing is actually annoying because in the UK or Europe, I can buy glass lenses made by Nikon or Zeiss, and they're banned.
That's because your soccer teams wear the logo on their shirts.
But they're banned here. You're not allowed to buy those glasses here.
All right, let's get
Probably
to the
because
vomit.
some
we got to
fucking
get
kid-
to the vomit. We're
some kid was
talking
wearing
too
them
much
playing
old
paintball.
man and not enough what's going to make Chaille vomit.
Oh, yeah.
Now your eyes are so fucked at this point.
So we'll start off with like how susceptible they are. So a while back, I had a semi-detached retina, and that's when the back of your eyelid.
Is this the Raleigh thing?
No, that's the thing that made me. It's the thing that I thought was about to happen in Raleigh. I thought it was happening again. So about
It's happening again.
Yes, I mean, we're walking across that bar in the hotel in Charlotte, and I suddenly stopped walking and said, "Uh-oh, something's happening." I remember
that was Charlotte, not Raleigh at all.
Yeah. So everyone gets sunspots, right? So you're out on a bright day and you see these spots or whatever.
Yeah.
If those sunspots last more than 4 or 5 hours, you need to go to an optician very quickly, because there's a very strong chance you're suffering from a detaching retina. which is that the back of your eye is literally peeling off. And that happened to me in Edinburgh one day.
This is the subtle part, and Chaille's already gagging.
He's already covering his mouth.
And that happened to me one day in Edinburgh. Fortunately, Edinburgh has an eye hospital, a specialised eye hospital. And so my optician was able to say, oh, yeah, something's really fucked here. Went to the eye hospital, and over the course of a week, a weekend, a day, I was, they dilate your eyes with iodine, which forces the pupil to
Iodine is how Chaille would say it correctly.
and then they can look in and see there was a gap appearing at the back of the eye. And they said, okay, well, we're going to seal that. And they did it basically immediately using this is where it becomes really interesting.
Yeah, well, can you make it a little more graphic?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing fine.
Don't say a gaff. Say a gaping, weeping lesion.
Well, again, the thing is that the odd thing is there's no pain involved because there's no nerves at the back in the back of the eye, but you are aware of a curtain in your eye, in your vision, which is the back of the retina peeling down, so that you're looking at it like dawn fading on your eyes as it's getting lower and lower. So what they do is they go in.
We call that a blackout in some circles.
It's on the inside of the eye.
It's in the inside of the eye.
On the back of the lens.
Yes. No. The back of the eyeball.
Of the eyeball.
That's where the retina is.
Well, that's where all the light is focused.
That's exactly. That's the projection screen. So they went in with what they call with a cryogenic wand. Second mention of cryogenesis.
Wow.
Cryogenic wand.
Cryogenic wand.
Yeah, that's good.
That's Brett Erickson's DJ name from the 90s.
And they sealed the wound with like freezing it all together, and then they really fucking so they first do that, and then they inject into your eyeball.
Describe the needle.
Well again, you don't.
You were awake during this.
No. They knock you out. It was also.
You should have said yes.
Yeah. It's also. I'll be awake for the next operation, which I've yet to discuss. But then they inject a helium.
Hang on. I just come on in, Ben, because Ben was awake for this.
Totally awake. So I stick this needle into your eye.
Eat the mic.
Stick the needle into your eye.
Wait, this is after the paintball
This is
ricocheted
to get
into
some
your
vision
eye.
back, yes. Dealt with it, ignored it, as you heard before, for a good couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
then,
do have one, like, David Bowie pupil that's bigger than the other or something.
you've noticed before, but there's been many pints since
I try
then.
not to stare into your glamorous eyes too long because all of a sudden that hug leads to dancing.
And if you get the light right, it shines back at you off that foul.
So they jammed a needle in your eye.
Yeah, you're
wide
awake.
awake.
Yeah, I don't know what the procedure is. You are somewhat conscious.
You have a tumultuous past where they probably didn't give a fuck. You had no insurance, I'm guessing, in these days of shooting basketballs with paint pellets.
No, that time had actually gone in the ignoring period. So I walked in with cash and said, "Fix my eye."
Wow.
Yep.
Bite the ruler. This is going to hurt.
Yes.
It was like the
I
Civil
wanted my
War.
eye fixed. Yeah. Less
He
hot sauce.
paid him in copper. Let's just say that.
Yeah, when I said I came down and slammed it on the table, fix my eye.
That is one of the things when the specialist in Alaska was looking at my eye, and it is back on the projection screen, if you will, back there. It is so close to the optic nerve that he gave me three choices, and the only one was ignore it. That was actually made sense. One was we could use a laser, but if you even twitch the smallest bit, that laser just basically shoots down in your optic nerve, and, well, then you'll lose your eyesight. Then the other one was, later on we can look at this procedure where we put a needle... Stop! Number 3, Doc? Well, you can just monitor, and I can give you this graph that you can put in your fridge. I'll take door number 3. Never see you again.
So they jam a needle in your eye.
Yeah, so they got to get rid of the damage. They use sonic waves to do so.
Oh.
And they break up the damaged part with sonic waves and then vacuum them out. And you are totally aware that there is some type of clamp. There's some type of clamp on your forehead and cheeks.
Yeah.
And the light is so bright. so very bright, because they've removed
God.
anything. Yeah.
Could
so,
you
so
see
he
your
can see,
dead
but I can't
relatives
see.
through it?
Run to the light.
Ben!
Nope. All I saw was light, bright,
Yeah,
brilliant.
Come to the dark
Green
side.
What were the consequences if it wasn't fixed?
Continue to lose vision until
All
it
right,
was gone.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's already at 50%.
And no more paintball.
I never actually saw that gun one other time. I know my nephew owned it, but he never brought it out again.
Well, it isn't mission accomplished.
Yeah, I was mean to him. There was all these times where he had to cry uncle, and crying uncle once was way too easy. So they learned how to say it 10 times really fast because that was the quote. Are you going to have to say it 10 times? And I'll get him back in one shot.
But you can see out of your eye now.
Somewhat. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Bright lights are still a son of a gun. I think I might have been in trauma from that day.
That's a great.
Otherwise, he'd be one blocked, Ben.
Sunblock Ben. All right, let's get to where you make Chaille puke.
Oh, yeah,
No,
just to say,
It's just if you want it.
I know you've always been saving heroin for when you have ass cancer, but when I was getting wheeled in for the op, and they have to put you out because they're going to stick a fucking wand behind your eye.
Unless you're fucking a man like Ben. Go ahead.
They said we need to get you relaxed before we knock you out. So they said
job.
I know they said they put me on. They just injected like morphine, and it was the most fucking amazing experience I've ever had in that area. And then they knocked me out. I can still
Don't
remember.
knock me out. I'm enjoying this.
Exactly.
Just 5 more minutes.
And then you wake up and my eye was obviously completely bloody. It was just like no white.
Yeah.
It's just all blood.
Oh.
And then they
He's
said,
no good, it's
and
all
they said,
blood.
go home and don't do anything. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, don't do anything for 3 months. And this was
3 months.
3 months. Like, don't get your heart rate up because
Oh,
the back of your eye is so fragile; it'll blow out if you pump blood through it. Okay.
How are you going to sneeze?
Well, exactly.
How are you going to get through this podcast? Because my heart's racing.
And then, of course, this was the summer. This was actually, again, interesting point.
Did you try Joby's sourdough at the farmer's market? That's too much.
I was
spice sauce.
I was self-employed, right? And that was the summer when fucking James Inman was coming to the Edinburgh Festival.
Oh, Christ. A perfect storm.
Yeah.
Hang on, I thought this is the recent thing.
Oh, no, this
is
is
the old one.
this is
I
the old-
thought-
He hasn't
got to
I
the
thought
new
you
one.
jumped ahead.
No, this is like why. This is an explanation of why my eyes are as bad as they are, type thing.
Foreplay.
So, cut to recently. I'm looking at, like they say, 2 weeks ago. I'm thinking something's up with the other eye, not the retina detached eye. The other eye. It's like this isn't
good eye. It's gone bad.
Yeah, the good eye. So sure enough, I come back from Australia. And,
Good eye.
And I go immediately to an ophthalmologist, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you've got a fucking nuclear sclerotic cataract in there.
Nuclear
And
cataract.
You have to. That has to come out." And then immediately he's sending me. He gets me to walk immediately to a retinal specialist because, as he puts it, well, with your eyes, we're not even sure you can do surgery. And this is this phrase I heard repeatedly for the past week, which is, well, with your eyes. Every conversation is, well, with your eyes. So nothing particularly gory here. They're just dilating your eye constantly and blinding you with fucking, not science, but just energy. And so he says, "Oh, here's the retina guy says, oh, here's the good news. Yes, you're clear to be operated on. Could go wrong, but you're clear at this point." And then the funny thing was, to get me to see the retina guy immediately, the ophthalmologist lied to them and said I'd lost all sight in my eyes. Because he said, I want them to see them immediately, and they won't see you immediately unless I tell a white lie. So when I arrived...
White lies matter.
When I arrived at their place, they were literally... The nurse was literally going like this, can you see this? Can you see, like holding one finger up to my eye and saying, can you see my one finger? And I'm going,
That's like 2 inches from
yeah,
your...
I'm going, yes. And she's, oh, sorry, we were told you had no vision.
I mean,
It's coming back. You're doing the right thing. Keep going.
Yeah, no, so that was good. So now they're going to go in. The great thing about eye surgery is you're genuinely in the world of science fucking fiction. You know, the cryogenic wands, the micro incisions, all the fucking weird stuff they can do is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And so that is something one should be joyful for, because it is exciting.
Yeah.
But obviously, one is less joyful about the fact that, as they say, with your eyes, this you could have a we could detach your retina as a consequence of the surgery.
No, all right. This is
I've
the.
heard that,
let me
that
get
kind of explanation.
So they could accidentally make your good eye into your bad
Well,
eye.
no. The good eye is now the bad eye. In the course of 24 hours, that's something else that happened in the conversation. Is I noticed they were referring to the bad eye, and I'm going, no, that's the good eye, and they went, not anymore. the bad eye is now the good eye. Okay. It was like the Cold War when everything switched at the end. You know, and suddenly Russia was our friend.
Crisscross.
It's like, oh, I thought we were friendly with Oceania. No, that's anyway.
But now, just to be clear,
Brother
because we've been
reference.
switching back and forth,
I remember that.
the good eye is now the bad eye.
Correct.
And they're only going to focus on the new bad eye.
The new bad eye.
And the new good eye, they're not touching. So my question was, the eye switched. Are they doing anything to the old bad eye, which is now the good eye?
Well, they actually said, if we can see something in this eye as well. But we're going to do the first one first, and then we'll talk about the other one.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly a fucking brave new horizon we're looking at. If we're looking at anything. Fortunately, my perspicacity has not diminished, although my vision has. So
Wow. Perspicacity.
What's that?
Bring it up again.
Ability to see things in a metaphorical way.
He's got that one.
Yeah, I don't need spectacles for that.
You can do that blinded.
You should. We should call this podcast 99% Invisible.
There you go.
Yeah.
You were when you were trying to tell me all this shit on the phone. You hadn't called in forever. You were in a different
Continent.
side of the continent, and what's the
Hemisphere. He's in the southern hemisphere.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. It's funny how...
You wanted to shit on United. I wrote that down.
Yeah. It's, again... sorry, because I was going to say something, but then it steps on the bit you were doing. So.
No. I don't even remember where.
Wait, are you working out material, Doug?
No,
Okay.
It was his material that you hadn't heard. Just bitching about it. He goes, I go, you should save that for the podcast. He's bitching about international first class.
What?
Because I understand the demographic
But
of the podcast.
I was on his side. Where you go, well, we worked fucking hard to be able to, and you get shit. You're bitching about first class. People, if you're bitching about a flight, people get angry that you have the money to fly.
Yeah.
Coach, must have first class. Well, when you get to a point where you can afford that and you go, oh, I made my bones. I really dug deep and I tried hard and now I can fly first class. You can't bitch about it because people go, fuck you. You're lucky to even be able to fly. I took a Greyhound bus just to get to my next fucking Army depot. Fucking fuck you. You fucking signed up on a delayed entry when you were 17 because you're a fucking stupid cunt. And you didn't have good parents.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
so if my United pillow isn't particularly plump, I am going to fucking complain.
Yeah, he did have a complaint about United Airlines that didn't require surgery to repair teeth.
Yeah.
I was. It was a week, doubly week, 1 week bit after the fucking guy got drug off the United But I get you cocksuckers. I probably already said this on a
Not on a
podcast
podcast.
earlier.
But yeah, you might as well.
Either
burn it.
way, it's done. But when you sell out gigs, especially the gigs that Brian Hennigan books for you when he's in another continent and hemisphere chasing a skirt that's probably a dude. We don't know. He keeps his
At this point, I'm with you on that.
cars.
Well, your eyes are.
Well,
poor.
then all of a sudden, that's when you're playing a coffee shop in Greensboro. And you go, what? Oh,
yeah.
He's phoning these. I'm phoning the sets in while he's phoning in the venues. And they were very nice people, by the way. I shit on that Greensboro gig.
Laura
They
and
were
Steve.
very nice.
The idiot box.
I don't, it's not Laura. I think it's something
Oh,
different. I think you're wrong. I don't remember it, but you're wrong.
I remember she was when I called her up
She's
to talk
pretty.
about it. She was at a lacrosse match.
Wow.
Wait, was she driving the minivan for her kids' lacrosse
I-
match?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
what it was.
I'm sorry. It's Jenny and Steve.
I got you. I got, at least
You're right.
I wasn't right. I was right that you're wrong. Anyway, you were over in whatever
Yeah.
continent, Antarctica. I think you were at the
Yeah,
McMurdo.
that was just where my heart was. Anyway, keep going.
You have no heart.
Wait, are you going still into the eye thing, or is this something else?
I don't think you ever get to a vomiting part. I think
I know Chaille was
Ben
pretty
beat him.
Well, I think actually talking about it helped me.
Oh,
so
He
it
looks,
backfired.
you look much better right now.
Ben made him wretch.
oh.
I think I might have been interrupted. So you feel them clamp this thing on your face.
They're
What's the
holding
thing?
you like
Describe the thing.
Clockwork Orange, like they're holding your face.
Yes,
Head
you got it.
halo.
Clockwork
Head
Orange,
halo.
very good, very good. Clamped on your face. It's all to stabilize him so he can stick that needle into your eye. And that
Directly?
needle's hollow,
Is it like
directly
a
into
drill
your eye.
press where they're
No.
it's like a fishing pole with a stick?
Chaille's going through
You
the
know, it
other
could've been.
side.
It was pretty bright.
Yeah, I do.
The
I
light
am.
and stuff like that. But then that needle is hollow,
Yeah.
and they turn on the sonic waves, and it starts inside your eye.
But the
Yeah, and
needle's
you can
in
feel
your
it.
eye the whole time,
Yes, it
and
is-
then it starts vibrating.
It is using sonic waves
It's
to
like-
break up the damage.
It's like cock fingering, if with a vibrator.
You would know. I don't.
We all got that same image. Yeah.
And
Go
then
fucking
on
says
comes the vacuum.
Tom Canal.
Yeah.
So now, after the weird vibration inside your eye, there's this pulling sensation. And it seems like it's maybe sucking the brain right out of your eyeball.
But there's fluid. There's retinal fluid in there, right?
But I guess that's what the clamping thing's all about. So they can just suck up the little pieces they broke because it's
They're
all clamped
all-
onto your face. And
Also might be psychic ability where you can pick spreads. We thought this with Bingo in the coma. Maybe they're pulling out,
Wisdom.
take the 3.5 points.
Kenny caught me back in the old days flipping a coin to find out which one. So it wasn't a psychic ability. I was flipping coins.
That happened as well when I went in for the emergency consultation. The nurse sits me down and she goes, "Okay, let's talk about your left eye." And I was immediately, "No, it's the right eye." It's like this is really important. The very first person I talked to who's
It's
going to
not
talk
like
to me.
right and left wings of politics. This is actually
It's like
important.
the one thing you need to get right, you got wrong immediately, which
should
is the eye you're going to operate on.
You should have borrowed one of Doug's fat Sharpies and drawn a circle.
I'm not joking.
around. I'm not either.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Because the number of times when you read about mistaken surgeries and things, that would have solved all of them.
Absolutely.
It's here.
Well,
the worst
I've read
thing you
about-
can do is go to a doctor to begin with.
Oh, here we go.
Write it out.
Yes, so tell us about the inside of your eye.
Well, there was at one point.
Which, by the way, obviously, important point here. The eyelid,
if we
which
can
is
just mention
What?
how much we love April and Tracy and Denise every now and then, because I want to get to you. See, now they're just going to pay attention rather than talk in the background.
because the
Ego
eyelid,
is a motherfucker.
the eyelid is not part of the eye and therefore has nerves, and that's why you have pain.
Well, this is a tattoo question where you go, what part of your body can you imagine getting tattooed if you're a pain I could get it up here, but the people that have it in the under your arm, that would hurt. But other people, so someone's scraping the inside of my eyelid, which I have. Chalazions is what it used to be, but now there was a day on the road where I went, I put my contact back in after it had a chunk of rock salt or whatever it had in it, and I couldn't see it was rocky eye.
It felt like your eye was being scraped every time you blinked.
Yeah,
okay.
And I took the contact out, my last
discount.
contact, and I put it in a thing, and I just went. Like the first week of the tour, I have one eye. I'm fine with that. And then I put it back in. It was good for a day, and then it went fuzzy again. And we were at Wilmington, North Carolina, where we're sitting out there, and I gunked up again, and then I go, no, it's not gunked up. It must have fallen out. I'm just...
Yeah, you're like, I think my contact lens fell out. Do you see...
Well, then I looked where my long range versus short... Oh, wait, no, I can see my contact is not in my eye. And Chaille looked, you could see...
There's a weird, almost like a
contact lens.
I don't know anything about contact lenses. I don't look in people's eyes, but from looking from one eye to the other, your one eye looked like there was like a small little film, like a bubble, right? Just a little bit around the
you can see the circle of a contact lens.
That's the second time I think I've ever looked in an eyeball.
The other one that I put a contact lens in that I thought was now gunky,
that wasn't.
There was no contact lens. The next morning I wake up, I can see the contact lens had somehow been wedged up inside of my eye.
Yes. Yeah.
The ladies are going, I've done that, and dudes are now, and not even Chaille are going, ugh.
No, I'm doing the because I've done that so many times. I know exactly what the pain is.
Yeah, but you have
about.
the bottom of a Grey Goose bottle. For you have metal contact lenses.
By the way, it's kind of ironic.
Clear aluminum.
I think that Galatians 5 is where that quote is from in the Bible.
Galatians.
Yeah. Do not look at the sawdust in your brother's eye. Behold the mote in your eye.
We will be having follow-up conversations because we're all going to eye doctors. Kanopka. You're just basically, you're fucked for now, but there's nothing to do about it. Hennigan, you're going to a million fucking doctors. Yeah. One block, Two Town Ben, we call him is his new name if we can remember to call him Two Town instead of One Block. Yeah, he's just going to keep shooting himself in the face with fucking paintballs. Chaille.
Yeah.
I'm good for now. I got to look at my grid. Every week.
Tron.
Was it Murphy that kept calling you or Bird Cloud? Someone kept calling you the chameleon because of your fucking bubble eyes. It had to be Bird Cloud or
bubble
someone.
Eyes.
Bubble eyes.
Someone kept calling you. That's my chameleon.
Sounds like a Bird Cloud thing.
That's my chameleon.
Yeah.
Oh, don't start this. Everyone's jealous of Bird Cloud. Don't start it.
Yeah.
We got that out of our systems.
Well, until 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
Well,
fucking, hey, while I'm on the topic in my head, fucking Kreischer won't return my text messages.
Let me see if I used Twitter message with him.
Oh, yeah.
And, let me see if I can.
I don't know. Well, you have to, I'll get on Twitter. And
I was gonna say my eyes are bad. Hold on a second. And I realized I'm probably got one of the best set of peepers here. So
After
peepers.
that story.
Oh, a great set of peepers there, gal.
No, I don't have anything yet. But wait, is it Saturday? Yeah, he's probably working this weekend. So we'll hear.
Yeah, right now he's doing a fucking kids puppet
show. We were
show.
listening to his podcast. We listened to Kreischer's podcast.
Absolutely.
A bunch of them, and there's like Henry Phillips, people we know. They go, I'm not going to say their name, and you'll tell me. So I keep, hey, tell me the fucking name of the person you can't say on the podcast. Won't get back to me.
He's saving it for the air.
Either that or he knows you'll tell everyone.
Yeah,
which
that's true too.
Kind of subverts his purpose of not naming
I'm
them.
a little bit of a gossip.
Yeah.
I asked him questions pertinent to the May 20th show, so we'll get that back. Hopefully within a couple of days.
All right, well, I guess that's a podcast. We'll put this in the tank.
Wow.
This is an evergreen podcast. It'll come out sometime. Maybe by then they've fired us for some kind of
Insubordination.
I was looking for it. You fucking saved me because I did not have insubordination, but I was looking for it. Thank you, Greg Chaille.
One job.
Thank you, Tom Konopka. Thank you, Brian Hennigan. Thank you, Two-Town Ben, and One Block April. I'm trying to goad her back because you know what? Who just moved out next door? Yes, left today.
Really?
Yep.
Said goodbye to them.
Yeah.
Had a
Good
U-Haul out
neighbors,
there
too.
for 2 days, parked, blocked sideways the entire street, and there's construction up on the other block. You're fucked. But that is now open. I said, I hate when the neighbors leave that house. They said, we had to leave. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's black mold in it.
That's what he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
moved to McNeil.
Yeah, he moved 2 blocks. Said the landlord won't let them work on it at all. Yeah, they can't do
Landlord's a
shit. He
piece of
said, I'm out.
shit.
Yeah, he just moved 2 blocks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Out of
Oh,
state.
so is it now fucking Russian roulette time about who moves in?
It's
Now when they find out there's black mold.
well, tweakers don't care.
That's true.
And that's how it's worked. Tweaker on, tweaker off, tweaker on. And they were great neighbors.
Yeah.
We all have to pitch in for rent.
Yeah, I get devious thoughts, so we'll save this for.
You?
Hey, thank you for listening. Let's close this out with. We did Fame Riot. What was the other band that we missed?
Unlikely
but
candidates.
Let's do an Unlikely Candidates.
I have to get Erickson to send me the CD.
They're not on.
Yeah, I guess. I
They're
don't know.
on something. Hey, you can find this song on Figure It Out. Google. It ruined the plot of the movie.
Google it. I should impersonate myself on this podcast.
It would sound fake next
yeah.
to
Yeah.
Doug's.
You got to brush up on your
impersonation.
Hennigan.
Yeah, it's completely unbelievable.
That was my idea, was to try to get a Hennigan impression down enough that we could do a podcast with Hennigan where he's saying all the horrible. Oh no! At 14, that's when they're in their prime. That's why I go to Thailand. He's on Twitter going,
no.
That wasn't me. That was someone impersonating me.
I'm glad you're amused.
All right. Oh, wait. That's right. The Unlikely Candidates are going to close out this podcast. Thanks, everyone, and the ladies especially, for chatting during it.
No.
We'll get to you on the next podcast. Please stay tuned.